Apocalypse mobile phone system. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 226, Driving School Southgate Guard Room. Boom boom. The motorcycle roared all the way and turned directly into the small road next to it. There was no other way. To go to the driving school, you had to take this small road. Originally, the driving school had a south gate and a north gate, but because there was no road nearby, and the shortest way from the city to this rural area was to go directly through the south gate and the north gate of the driving school, so this driving school became very lively, with a constant stream of cars every day. But later, the leaders of the driving school blocked the north gate and only left the south gate, probably for safety reasons. Anyway, since the north gate was blocked, the business of the driving school has become increasingly bleak, and the only way to go to the driving school is to take a long detour and enter from the south gate. There was no road on the ground, but when more people walked, there was a road. This sentence has been verified in practice. At this time, the narrow path that Xiao Yao was walking on was made by people. If you drive, it may be very difficult to walk, but riding a motorcycle is still possible. Boom boom. The motorcycle roared along this narrow path. Because it was a small path, few people walked on it, so surprisingly, there was no zombie encountered along the way. There was a courtyard wall in front, but this courtyard wall did not belong to the driving school. After passing this courtyard wall, you will enter a large tea garden. After passing the tea garden, you can reach the south gate of the driving school, because this tea garden actually belonged to the driving school. Later, it was rented out. The current tea garden belongs to another boss. He built a circle of walls around the tea garden, and then set up an iron gate at the place where this narrow path must pass. It is basically open at ordinary times, which is also convenient for passing vehicles and pedestrians. This is much better than what the owner of the driving school did. At least the owner of the tea garden left the door open. After passing this gate, Xiao Yao drove the motorcycle eastward, drove a few hundred meters, drove into a cement road, and turned onto the cement road to the north. This road was built by the owner of the driving school, and it is much easier to walk than the narrow path just now. In front of him was a parking lot. All the vehicles coming to the driving school to learn how to drive were parked here. Xiao Yao glanced at it and saw that there were still many vehicles parked in the parking lot. If there were cars, it meant there were people. If there were people, there would be danger. Because he couldn't be sure whether they were survivors or zombies, how was his father? Xiao Yao couldn't help but increase the throttle. As he got closer, Xiao Yao had already seen the south gate of the driving school. This south gate is actually open. Xiao Yao's heart sank. Dad, where are you? Xiao Yao drove his motorcycle into the compound, then stopped next to the guard room and stopped the motorcycle. Mom and Xinru also got off the motorcycle. Mom just got off the motorcycle and went to the guard room to open the door. It seemed that she was anxious to see if Dad was in the guard room. Xiao Yao grabbed Mom's arm and said, "Let me do it." Xiao Yao held the copper coin sword in his hand, and then gently turned the door of the guard room. The door was not locked, and Xiao Yao went in directly. "Is anyone there?" Xiao Yao called softly. There was no response from the room. It seemed that Dad was not here. Xiao Yao pushed open the door of the inner room. The room was empty. Xiao Yao lifted the quilt. His father was not there. There was a charging flashlight next to him. Xiao Yao picked it up. "How is it?" Xiao Yao's mother asked anxiously. When Xiao Yao entered the room, they followed him in. "Dad is not here. It seems that we can only look somewhere else," Xinru said. "Where could he be?" Xiao Yao asked his mother in confusion. "It's hard to say. He may be in the venue, in the office building, or in the cafeteria. Your father can only go to these places." Xiao Yao's mother said that when Xiao Yao's father was about to get off work, he would go to the venue and office to clean up. He would also go to the cafeteria to clean up the dog food. Basically, there were only these places he could go. "Well, you guys take a rest here first. I'll go close the door," Xiao Yao said and went out to close the door, then locked it. Zombies won't open the door, so there's no need to lock it. The reason why Xiao Yao closed the door was that he was afraid that his title of public enemy would involuntarily attract nearby zombies. Although Duoduo was there and Duoduo had the advantage of level, Xiao Yao had never seen how Duoduo killed zombies, and looking at Duoduo's appearance, his hair was quite shiny. Maybe he had never killed a zombie before. After all, if Duoduo killed zombies, his mother would tell yourself. Besides, there will probably be traces of blood on Duoduo's body, but now Duoduo's hair is very shiny. Xiao Yao is not sure at this time. Can Duoduo kill zombies in seconds? Xiao Yao actually doubted this great god dog above level 30. Just now at home, the figure lying on the wall, it stands to reason that Duoduo is above level 30. He can definitely jump on the wall and kill the other party in seconds. After all, a dog will jump over the wall when it is desperate, and this is still an ordinary dog. This Duoduo is already level 30. Xiao Yao does not believe that he still needs to be forced to jump when he's already level 30. But Duoduo just lay on the ground and barked. Anyway, it's better to have less trouble than more, and it's better to have nothing to do than less trouble. This time I came to find my parents, not to kill zombies. If it was just to kill zombies, Xiao Yao would not run back home. There are countless zombies in the city waiting for Xiao Yao to kill. Xiao Yao closed the door and returned to the house to take a rest and recover his lost health points. The entire driving school is too big and it may take some time to find his father. There are many motor vehicles parked in the parking lot outside. It seems that there are still many driving students, or zombies, in this driving school. Xiao Yao did not dare to shout loudly. If his father responded and was heard by the zombies, his father would be in danger. The only way now is to advance step by step slowly. Xiao Yao took out the food from his school bag and shared it with his mother and Xinru. Let's replenish our energy first, and we will go to the north office building later. Several people sat around the stove in the guard room and ate food. Xinru rubbed her hands because of the cold. Just now, Xinru was holding the handle at the back of the motorcycle. The cold iron pipe, coupled with the cold wind from the motorcycle, made Xinru's hands and face red with cold. Xiao Yao held Xinru's hand with heartache and blew a few breaths to warm her up. No need, the room is not cold anymore, it will be fine in a while. Xinru felt warm in her heart. How can that be possible? Xiao Yao continued to breathe heavily. At this time, Xiao Yao found that there were still a few bags of coal next to him. Xiao Yao simply lit the stove directly, so that the room would be warmer. Dad prepared quite enough, and there was also grass for kindling. After a while, the stove was lit, and the whole guard room slowly became warmer. Xinru leaned her hands against the stove to keep warm. Xiao Yao took out another pack of mineral water, poured it into the kettle, and boiled water. Every time I drink cold mineral water, I should also drink more hot water to warm my body. The guard room was getting warmer and warmer, forming a sharp contrast with the cold outside. The leader of the zombie dogs led the pack of zombie dogs, following Xiao Yao and the others sent all the way. In front of them was the gate of the tea garden. The leader of the zombie dogs suddenly stopped his claws, and the entire pack of zombie dogs also stopped moving forward. Then the leader of the zombie dogs sniffed the air, turned around and walked east, because this direction was exactly where Xiao Yao and the others wanted to go. However, there was a grove to the east, and at the end of the grove was the wall of the driving school. The gate of the tea garden was the only passage to the driving school. In other words, to go to the driving school, you have to take a detour and pass through the tea garden. It seems that Drug's IQ is still not good enough. Just like pigs, they don't know how to turn. The strange thing is that the group of zombies behind also followed a zombie dog pack to the east, as if the leader of the zombie dogs was the leader of this group. It's ridiculous that a group of zombies actually let a zombie dog be their leader. Chapter 227 Anyone who messes with my dad will be killed. After replenishing their energy and resting their health, Xiao Yao and the others finished their rest. Mom, Xinru, let's go to the north office building. Xiao Yao pushed open the door of the guard room and got on his motorcycle. After his mother and Xinru got on, he started the motorcycle and drove north. Duoduo ran happily behind Xiao Yao's motorcycle, running to the front and then around to the back from time to time. Boom boom boom. The motorcycle roared and drove directly to the north. Woof woof woof. Duoduo's barking came from the front. Duoduo sometimes followed behind and sometimes ran to the front. At this time, Duoduo had already run into the thick fog in front. Now it was Duoduo who was barking. Boom boom. Xiao Yao stepped on the throttle. Duoduo would not bark for no reason. It seemed that there was something wrong. Xiao Yao caught up with Duoduo and found that it was barking wildly towards the north. Xiao Yao looked to the north and saw a wall. This was the original north gate, but now the north gate was blocked by a wall. Xiao Yao scanned the area and found nothing suspicious. Maybe there were zombies on the other side of the wall. However, zombies can't climb walls, and Xiao Yao was too lazy to climb over and kill them. He said to Duoduo, "Let's go, Duoduo." Xiao Yao turned the motorcycle and drove east. The east was the office building. Not far in front was the west gate of the office building, which was also a small gate. As he got closer, Xiao Yao found that there were actually several figures wandering around the west gate. When they heard the sound of the motorcycle, they turned their heads and rushed towards Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao controlled the motorcycle to turn around and park to the side. Then he stopped the motorcycle, held the copper coin sword, and stabbed the 3 zombies that surrounded him with 3 swords, killing them instantly. The 3 zombies in front of him were not his father, so Xiao Yao was relieved and rode his motorcycle to the west gate. There was an anti-theft door at the west gate. At this time, the anti-theft door was just locked, but not locked. The glass door inside was just closed, not locked. "Come in quickly," Xiao Yao said to his mother and Xinru behind him. After entering the office building, Xiao Yao found that there was no thick fog in the office building. He checked the character's status again and found that there was no superimposed poisoning status. It seemed that at least this office building was safe. Xiao Yao clenched his fists and said, "Dad, please don't be in trouble." On the left-hand side was the toilet and water room. Xiao Yao turned and went in. There was no one in the water room. Opposite was the women's restroom. If it was before the end of the world, Xiao Yao would not dare to enter the women's restroom, but now it is the end of the world, there is no scruple. Xiao Yao went directly into the women's restroom. There were only 3 pits in it, but they were all cubicles. Xiao Yao pulled 2 cubicles, both were empty, and the 3rd cubicle was locked. Could there be someone? Dong dong dong. Is there anyone? Xiao Yao knocked on the door twice, but there was no response from behind. Bang! Xiao Yao kicked open the door of this cubicle directly. There was no one behind the door. Forget it, it was good after all. If there were zombies, what if it was a female, or a female zombie who was using the toilet? Xiao Yao didn't know if this picture would be censored by the system. Then Xiao Yao came out of the women's restroom and went to the men's restroom next door. There were some urinals in the men's restroom, and there were 3 separate cubicles next to them. In fact, there were gaps under these cubicles. If you squatted down, you could see if there was anyone inside. However, Xiao Yao was so burly that it was difficult for him to squat down to check. He could only check the cubicles of the toilet one by one again. Safe. There were no zombies in the toilet and the water room. This was already a safe place. Xiao Yao came to open the door of the water room. Opposite was a classroom. The door was not locked. Xiao Yao pushed the door open. The whole classroom was empty. That's right. It was afternoon when the doomsday came. Who would be in the classroom? Xiao Yao, who was worried, walked around the classroom. After confirming that there were no zombies, he closed the door and came out. It's safe here. Let's continue to go east. Xiao Yao said and was about to go east, then stopped. What's wrong, Xiao Yao? Xinru asked. It's okay. I'll lock the door first. Xiao Yao turned around and locked the security door and the glass door. There was a person leaning against the wall outside the door. If Xiao Yao found out, it was none other than Wang Nan, the alien who had been following him all the way. At this moment, Wang Nan was quietly leaning against the wall, his eyes glowing with scarlet light, staring at the side. Xiao Yao was locking the door and the door next to him. Woof woof woof. Duoduo stood in the house and kept barking. Stop barking. If you keep barking, you'll attract all the zombies. Are you going to kill them? Woo woo woo. Duoduo lowered his tail and stopped barking. Xiao Yao shook his head. This dog was a god dog over level 30, but he was so scared that he dared not bark when he heard that he was asked to kill zombies. What a useless dog. After locking the double doors, Xiao Yao clapped his hands. He was safe for the time being. He continued to move eastward, taking every step carefully and advancing slowly. Next to him was the director's office, which was locked. Xiao Yao pried it open directly. There was no one inside. It seemed that the director ran home after get off work. Next to him was the general manager's office. The door was not locked, so Xiao Yao pushed it open directly and went in. Roar. Oh my goodness, there were 2 zombies inside the counter. After Xiao Yao opened the door, they started to rush over here, but they were blocked by the counter. The 2 zombies actually climbed onto the counter. One of the zombies fell headfirst to the ground after climbing over the counter. Fuck, zombies already know how to climb the table? This is not a good sign. Xiao Yao took 2 steps at a time and directly stepped forward to kill the 2 zombies with 2 swords. Damn, 2 idiots. They opened the window in such a cold day, and there was still thick fog in the room. Xiao Yao quickly left the room and closed the door. Don't go into this room, it's full of thick fog. There was a hall in front, empty and no one was there. Xiao Yao continued to go east. On the right-hand side of the east was the computer room, which was also the simulation classroom for driving school students. It was full of computers. Xiao Yao knocked on the door and saw that it was full of computers and no one was there. He turned around again and found that there was no one there either. To the north was the driving simulation classroom. The door of this classroom was almost never opened because there was no simulation at all. Everyone got into the car directly, so these equipment were basically covered with thick dust. Next to it was the second floor. Xiao Yao went directly to the second floor. To the east was the principal's office. It seemed that he had already run away. After turning around the second floor, there was still no one. It was strange. Dad was not there. In the entire office building, only the 2 shabby with open windows in the general manager's office on the first floor had turned into zombies. So where would Dad be? We can only go to the cafeteria to have a look. Xiao Yao said to his mother. Well, maybe your boss's canteen was collecting dog food at that time. Let's go. Xiao Yao led his mother and Xinru down the second floor and went directly to the south gate of the office building. The motorcycle was directly put into the backpack, so there was no need to go out from the west gate. After unlocking the south gate of the office building again, Xiao Yao took out the motorcycle and drove to the canteen in the east. When he got closer, Xiao Yao found that there were several cars parked in front of the canteen, and there were even a few figures swaying around the cars. Xiao Yao drove straight over. After dealing with a few wandering zombies in a few moves, Xiao Yao quickly ran into the canteen. The canteen was too big, but at a glance, he could see everything and there was no one. Dad, where are you? I'm going to fight you. A roar came from next door. It's Dad's voice. It's Dad. 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 That voice couldn't be wrong. It was the voice that had taught him a lesson for more than 10 years. It was Dad's voice. When he was taught a lesson before, Xiao Yao was very rebellious and often made Dad angry. He was also very unwilling to listen to his father's voice. But now, this voice was like a heavy hammer, hammering Xiao Yao's heart heavily. It was the voice of his father that Xiao Yao had been waiting for a long time. Xiao Yao hurriedly ran in the direction of the voice, still shouting Dad. Xiao Yao pushed the door open roughly. This was the back kitchen of the cafeteria. The door was pushed open by Xiao Yao vigorously and smashed to the side. The glass was directly shattered. The door also fell off the door frame and fell to the side. Next to it was the stairs leading to the second floor. There was a sound of fighting over there. Xiao Yao used all his strength and quickly ran to the second floor. Dad was in danger. No matter if it was a zombie or a survivor, anyone who messed with my dad. Kill without mercy. Chapter 228, Showing Off One's Skills. Xiao Yao ran all the way and flew directly to the second floor. At the corner, Xiao Yao, who was running too fast, almost bumped into a few people. Xiao Yao looked carefully and found that they were not a few people, but a few zombies. Xiao Yao took a rough look and saw that there were nearly 10 zombies. His father was in danger. This was not the time to be afraid of fighting. With his sword raised, Xiao Yao killed the zombies in front of him in seconds. In front of the zombies was a pile of tables, chairs and benches, which seemed to be piled up by the survivors. Xiao Yao kicked them open with great force, and the piled tables, chairs and benches were directly smashed to pieces. Bang! Then Xiao Yao kicked open the door next to him. The room was empty. Maybe all the things had been moved to the corridor outside, and there was no one there. Xiao Yao quickly retreated from the room and ran to the east again. He skipped the middle rooms directly because the sound of fighting was heard in the innermost room in the east. Xiao Yao kicked the door again. As a result, the door was opened by a person inside. Xiao Yao quickly stopped his outstretched foot. Who are you? The person in front of him was stunned for a moment when he saw a human appear in front of him. Just now, he heard a strange noise outside, and Boss Kin asked him to come out to check. Unexpectedly, he saw a human the moment he opened the door. "Get out of here." Xiao Yao directly pushed the thin man who was blocking the door away. The thin man was pushed back a few steps by Xiao Yao and fell to the ground. Xiao Yao rushed into the room. There were 5 people in the room, including the one who opened the door and was still sitting on the ground, that is, 6 people. Xiao Yao looked over and saw that 2 people were pressing one of them on the table. There was also a middle-aged man with a big belly sitting on the sofa and smoking. Next to the middle-aged man stood a tall man who was 2 meters tall and had a black tattoo on his arm. "Who are you?" The middle-aged man was startled by Xiao Yao's sudden intrusion. There were zombies in the corridor, and there were many tables, chairs and benches piled up. How could a person suddenly come in? "Where's my dad?" Xiao Yao quickly scanned a few people. He didn't recognize anyone, so he didn't look at the man who was still pressed on the table. Xiao Yao took a run up and kicked one of the 2 people directly. The other one was scared and ran to the side. The man who was kicked hit the wall, spit out a mouthful of blood, and climbed up tremblingly. Xiao Yao still held back just now. If he used all his strength, this person would have died directly. Then Xiao Yao quickly helped the man who was pressed on the table up. Hiss. The man in front of him raised his face, revealing his bruised face. It was Xiao Yao's father. "Dad?" Xiao Yao didn't believe that he would be like this after traveling thousands of miles to find his father. His father was not eaten by zombies and did not become a zombie. This was fortunate. However, his father was beaten like this and almost died at the hands of humans. "You are Xiao Yao." Xiao Yao's father was beaten black and blue, his eyes were swollen like panda eyes, and he couldn't see who was in front of him at this time. He could only peek at Xiao Yao in front of him through his narrowed eyes, and then he confirmed Xiao Yao's voice. "It's Xiao Yao who is back, that's great, you are not dead." Xiao Yao's father cried like a tearful man. Men don't cry easily, but they are just not sad enough. Xiao Yao hugged his father tightly. "Dad, I'm sorry, I'm late. It's good that you're back, it's good that you're back. If you want to cry, go home and cry, don't be an eyesore here." Damn, 2 grown men hugging each other and crying, don't you think it's disgusting? If you are not disgusting, we still feel disgusted. Xiao Yao wiped away his tears and stared at the people in front of him, his eyes were like flames. The middle-aged man in front of him said a few harsh words, and when he was about to continue speaking, he was frightened by Xiao Yao's eyes and held back the rest of the words. Are you looking at me? For what? I am the boss of this canteen, your dad collects dog food, and he has to look at my face." Xiao Yao smiled faintly. "Xiao Yao, don't be silly, the situation outside has changed now, people have turned into man-eating monsters, and we all rely on Boss Kin's canteen to survive. Dad, Mom and the others are still on the 1st floor, you go to the 1st floor first to help me take care of Mom." "What, your mom is here too?" "Yes, and your daughter-in-law is also on the 1st floor, you go to the 1st floor first to help me take care of them." "Daughter-in-law? Okay, Xiao Yao, you've made it, I'll go to the 1st floor now." Xiao Yao's father punched Xiao Yao in the chest, then happily pushed the door open and went out. He suddenly remembered that there were a lot of zombies outside, but how did Xiao Yao get here? When he saw nearly 10 zombies lying on the ground, Xiao Yao's father widened his eyes. Xiao Yao's father. What are you in a daze about? Xiao Yao's mother also led Yi Xinru to the 2nd floor at this time. Seeing Xiao Yao's father staring at the zombie corpse on the ground, Xiao Yao's mother recognized this old man at a glance, even if he was beaten into a pig's head. This is a couple. Xiao Yao's mother, why are you here too? I'm glad you're okay, I'm glad you're okay. Xiao Yao's father stroked Xiao Yao's mother's head, you've lost weight, and your hair has turned white. You too. The 2 hugged each other affectionately, unwilling to separate for a long time. Come on, Xiao Ru is still watching, we 2 old men and women are not afraid of being coquettish. Xiao Yao's mother pushed Xiao Yao's father away. Ah, this little girl must be our daughter-in-law. Little girl, what's your name? Dad, my name is Yi Xinru, Xiao Yao's girlfriend. Yi Xinru stretched out her hands and held Xiao Yao's father's hand, because Xiao Yao's father looked bruised and swollen at this time. Xinru was afraid that he couldn't see her. Oh, okay. Xiao Yao's father patted Yi Xinru's hand awkwardly. He was beaten black and blue and looked like a pig. It was very embarrassing to meet his daughter-in-law for the first time, and he looked like this. Xiao Yao's father saw the monster corpses on the ground and changed the subject. By the way, why do I feel that Xiao Yao is very powerful now? Did he kill all these monsters here? Dad, of course Xiao Yao killed them. Don't worry, with Xiao Yao here, these zombies are nothing to be afraid of. Zombies. Yes, these monsters you mentioned, their name is zombies. Oh, so these monsters have names? No, Xiao Yao is still in the house, let's go help him. Xiao Yao's dad, these zombies are no match for Xiao Yao. How can a few ordinary people turn the world upside down? Xiao Yao's mother grabbed Xiao Yao's father's arm. Don't make trouble. That's right, I won't make trouble. In the room, the middle-aged man sat on the sofa, looking at Xiao Yao not far away with a serious face. Xiao Yao found a stool and sat down. Are you Xiao Fu Yao's son? Yes. Since you are his son, it's easy to deal with. Just take your father away, so as not to waste food here. I will definitely take him away, but I don't understand something. Tell me. Why did you press my father on the table? And beat him so badly? This. The middle-aged man was speechless for a moment. His son found out about beating his father. He did it. However, the man in front of him was just a young man, just a little fatter. The auto next to him was stronger than this young man. The middle-aged man glanced at the auto next to him and felt much more at ease. There was nothing to be afraid of. Don't say I didn't give you a chance. This may be your last words in this world. Xiao Yao said coldly. What kind of kid is this? He's so pretentious, said a tattooed man next to him, glaring at Xiao Yao. Then he leaned over to Boss Qin and said flatteringly, Boss, let me kill him. No one else said anything, and Boss Qin didn't say anything either, apparently agreeing with the tattooed man's words. The tattooed man saw that Boss Qin didn't say anything, so he walked forward excitedly. He was nearly 2 meters tall and worked out regularly, so he looked very burly. At this time, the tattooed man looked down at Xiao Yao. Boy, I'll give you a chance. If you kowtow to Boss Qin and admit your mistake, and then crawl under my crotch, I will spare your life. Don't worry, I will be gentle with you. At most, I will beat you up like your father. Bang! Xiao Yao didn't waste any words and kicked the tattooed man in the stomach. The 2-meter-tall strong man was kicked away by Xiao Yao. The tattooed man vomited blood in the air, and the air was sprayed red. It felt like the blood was free. Xiao Yao had a sinister face. He dared to act cool in front of me, and he didn't even piss himself to look at the mirror. He was just showing off his skills in front of an expert. Bang! Then the tattooed man hit the wall behind him. The tattooed man sat down directly, his neck tilted, and he was silent. Are you kidding? At this time, it is easy to kill ordinary humans with bare hands. It is just a matter of whether to use full strength. Xiao Yao not only used full strength in the kick just now, but also full of anger. He killed the noisy bug instantly. This is the first time Xiao Yao kills someone, but at this time, Xiao Yao does not feel any guilt, because everyone in this room must die. Boss. He's dead. What? Boss Qin widened his eyes. This is impossible. The son of Xiao Fu Yao in front of him actually kicked Du Zidane to death. Du Zidane is a gangster who has killed people before, but he was kicked to death? Chapter 229, The Butcher's angry blood flows like a river. With a kick filled with anger, Xiao Yao directly kicked to death the 2-meter-tall tattooed man who was showing off his skills. Dead? It's a good thing for him. Xiao Yao glanced at Du Zidane, who had already fallen silent, and then Xiao Yao lowered his head to check his information, which was the key. System, experience plus 1100 money plus 1100, system, warning, because the host killed a member of the same kind, the evil value plus 10, which decreases by 1 every hour. During the period of having evil value, if you are killed by the same kind, you will drop comprehensive equipment. It actually increased 1100 experience points and gave a lot of money. Is killing the same kind the fastest way to level up? Killing a level 2 minion actually gave 1100 experience points. A piece of equipment appeared at Xiao Yao's feet. Xiao Yao leaned over to pick it up. Backpack, black gold inner armor, plus 60 defense, combat power plus 60, durability 99/100. This tattooed man actually wore such good equipment, but what's the use? He was kicked to death. He could only blame himself for provoking someone he shouldn't have provoked. When Xiao Yao picked up the black gold inner armor, he didn't deliberately hide from the people in front of him. After all, in Xiao Yao's eyes, the people in front of him had been sentenced to death by Xiao Yao. He didn't care whether they would tell others about it. As for what this evil value is, Xiao Yao frowned. He was killed by his own kind and dropped all his equipment. Does this also include the mobile phone system? Xiao Yao didn't dare to try. This evil value should be equivalent to the meaning of a red name. Who cares? I am already a public enemy, and I don't care about adding another red name status. You. The middle-aged man was so scared that his face turned pale. The people next to him were so scared that their calves were trembling. They couldn't stand it all. They held the table next to them with their hands. They couldn't stand and didn't dare to sit down. Who on earth is this person in front of him? Destined was the best fighter among them, but he was killed in a second. The skinny guy who had just vomited blood and stared at Xiao Yao with a sinister look on his face did not dare to act rashly at this moment. It seemed that the opponent had just retracted his kick, otherwise he would have been reincarnated long ago. Didn't you see that Destined, the best fighter and the strongest here, was kicked to death? At this moment, the skinny guy wanted to kowtow to thank the fierce man in front of him for not killing him. Sir, please let us go. We are blind and have offended you. I deserve to die. I deserve to die. The middle-aged man, Boss Kin, was also very powerful. After a brief moment of unconsciousness, he stood up from the sofa, knelt in front of Xiao Yao, and slapped himself in the face. In the face of life and death, face is nothing. Boss Kin made a prompt decision and admitted his defeat. Pa. 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 The sound was loud. It seemed that he really realized his mistake. The middle-aged man slapped himself hard, and blood came out of the corner of his mouth. He pleaded with Xiao Yao pitifully, Sir, I am willing to exchange all my savings and all the food here for my life. Please let me go. The middle-aged man was so scared. After all, the man in front of him could really kill people. All the mistakes are my fault. I only ask you to spare my life. The people around him also knelt down. Some of them kept slapping themselves in the mouth, and some kept kowtowed. Xiao Yao smiled faintly and did not continue to ask them why they were against his father. Is the reason important? Since you dare to disrespect my father, you must be prepared to go to reincarnation. Xiao Yao lost his patience at this time. Thunderbolt whirlwind slash. Start. This was the first time Xiao Yao used a big move to kill his own kind. Xiao Yao found that he was just like a butcher after activating the skill. The butcher was angry and blood flowed like a river. Ah. 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 After a few short screams, the tables, chairs, benches, broken limbs and arms in the house were as beautiful as the azaleas in early spring. Xiao Yao controlled the skill and came to the door, then cancelled the release of the skill, and his body collapsed again, and Xiao Yao fell to the ground. There was no indifference in killing zombies, nor the discomfort of killing his own kind as he imagined. Xiao Yao looked at the ceiling quietly. Could it be that because he had killed too many zombies, he had become so indifferent to human life? They dared to disrespect their father, and they deserved to die. They seemed to be fighting. No, I have to help Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao's father picked up a table leg on the ground, ran to the east and pushed open the door. After opening the door, he saw that Xiao Yao was lying on the ground, and his body was also stained with blood. Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao. What's wrong with you? An anxious cry came, and a pig-like face appeared in the field of vision. Dad, I'm fine, just a little tired, haha. Xiao Yao wanted to laugh. His father looked very funny. This was also the first time Xiao Yao saw his father being beaten up. However, the other party had been killed by Xiao Yao, and died very miserably. There was no intact piece of meat left. It was considered a way for his father to vent his anger. Xiao Yao, why are you covered in blood? What happened to you? Don't get hurt. Xiao Yao's father looked distressed, then turned around and shouted angrily, I will fight you. Xiao Yao's father was stunned. There was no Boss Kin and the others in front of him. What was in front of him was a bloodier scene than a slaughterhouse. Ugh. Wow. Xiao Yao's father vomited directly to the side. His stomach, which had been hungry for several days, could not vomit anything, only a little stomach acid. Xiao Yao. Xinru also appeared at the door at this time, with her mother beside her. Get out. Xiao Yao's eyes turned cold and stopped Xinru's foot from stepping in. His mother and Xiao, you guys go out, it's okay. We are here. Xiao Yao's father stood up and blocked Xiao Yao's mother and Xinru outside. You guys wait outside, we will go out soon. Then Xiao Yao's father closed the door. The scene in the house was too bloody, and Xiao Yao didn't want them to see it, which was also good for them. Xiao Yao, you are too impulsive. These are 5 lives. Anyone who messes with my father will be killed. Xiao Yao stared at his father and said this calmly. Bang! Xiao Yao's father punched Xiao Yao in the chest. Good boy, where did you learn to be so pedantic? Xiao Yao's father sat aside and sighed. Xiao Yao, listen to your father. If the Yamen Bureau investigates, just say that it was your father who did it. From now on, you will have to take care of your mother and Xiaoru by yourself. After Xiao Yao's father finished speaking, he tremblingly took out a cigarette box from his pocket, tremblingly took out a cigarette from it, then twisted the cigarette box into pieces, threw it against the wall, and took out a lighter from another pocket. After crackling for a long time without lighting it, Xiao Yao's father angrily shook the lighter a few times. Pop! The lighter was lit up and Xiao Yao's father lit the cigarette. Huh? Xiao Yao's father exhaled a puff of smoke. We have been besieged in the cafeteria for nearly 10 days, and the food is almost gone. The food allocated by Boss Qin every day is not enough. Today, because of the food problem, we had agreed to protest to Boss Qin together, but we didn't expect that these people would turn against us at the last minute, and I ended up being the only one protesting. Then I became an isolated person. They want to drive me out and feed me to the zombies. Some people even said they want to eat me to taste human flesh. These people are simply crazy. If you had come a step later, Xiao Yao, maybe you and I would have really been separated by the yin and yang. But, Xiao Yao, you are still reckless. These are 5 lives. The Yi division will not let it go. They want to eat people? That's not too unfair. Xiao Yao laughed when he saw his father's sad face. Xiao Yao, don't scare your dad. You didn't go crazy after killing a few people. Xiao Yao's father held Xiao Yao's face and shook it vigorously. Ahem. Dad, stop shaking me. I'll die if you keep shaking me. After his dad put Xiao Yao down, Xiao Yao said, where's the Yamen Bureau now? What? You mean, the people in the Yamen Bureau have also turned into monsters like those outside? Dad, I came from the school. 9 out of 10 humans now have turned into zombies. We have been waiting in the school for nearly 10 days without any rescue. I guess, most of them have turned into zombies too. In fact, the whole world has become a paradise for zombies. There are only a few of us humans left. There is no Yamen Bureau to take care of the matter of killing or not. Maybe the Yamen Bureau, the Military Affairs Department, these departments are all paralyzed and can't even protect themselves. How can they have time to take care of these trivial matters? I thought monsters only appeared in our driving school, but it turns out that the whole city has such monsters. Well, it's very difficult to survive now. There is no order to speak of. Don't worry, Dad, no one will come to catch us. Even if there is, they have to ask my fists. Alice, but, you'd better not kill anyone in the future. The other party only beat me up and didn't kill me. As for eating people, it might be just to scare me. You've gone too far. Dad, don't be so soft-hearted. Even if I beat them up and spared their lives, they won't be grateful. At most, they will flatter me in front of me, but try to kill me behind my back. Why make it so much trouble? Just cut the weeds and get rid of the roots and get rid of the future troubles. After all, we have to face countless zombies, and we don't have the time to play tricks with them. Countless zombies? Could it be that zombies will run to our driving school in the wild mountains? Well, it's hard to say. Anyway, it's better to be careful. Xiao Yao was also bitter. After all, he had the title of public enemy, and he couldn't guarantee that some blind zombies would come up and die. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 230 New Species? Xiao Yao, are you okay? I'm fine. There are still 10 seconds left and I'll be alive and kicking. Xiao Yao glanced at his status bar. There were still 10 seconds left and the dizziness was relieved. Papa. Xiao Yao's father took a few puffs of his cigarette, threw the cigarette butt on the ground, crushed it with his foot, then stood up and patted his butt. I'll go see your mother and Xiao Yao. Squeak. Xiao Yao's father opened the door. His father, what happened to Xiao Yao? Why is he covered in blood? It's okay, it's all other people's. Other people's. Yet, Lao Qin and his family. Xiao Yao they were all killed by Xiao Yao. Well killed. I've seen that Boss Qin is not getting along with you for a long time. He always bullies you in the driving school. You've been pretending to be his grandson for more than 10 years. Well killed. Alice, Xiao Yao's father looked helpless. They were indeed mother and son. Dad, Mom, I'm fine. Let's go to the first floor. Xiao Yao had recovered by now. He patted his body. The blood was almost dry, but his clothes were stained red with blood. It seemed that he needed to change his clothes. Xiao Yao, are you really okay? Let Mom take a look. It's okay. They are all other people's. Let's get out of here as soon as possible. The smell of blood here is too strong. I'm afraid it will attract zombies. Yes, let's get out of here. Xiao Yao's mother took Xinru and Xiao Yao and walked quickly to the first floor. Xiao Yao's father followed behind. After they left, a figure jumped into a single room from the broken window, then pushed open the door and came to the room on the east side from the corridor. The ground was full of broken limbs and arms. The man in front of him actually picked up a piece of meat and started eating it. The only sound in the whole room was the sound of chewing. Xiao Yao and the others reached the first floor, which was the back kitchen of the kitchen. Bang! Roar! Suddenly, there was a knock on the door from the side, which scared Xiao Yao. Looking over, he saw a female zombie lying on the door to the south of the kitchen. Xiao Yao opened the door, let the zombie in, and stabbed the zombie's head with a sword. White smoke came out of the stabbed head, and the zombie died directly. Xiao Yao, your sword seems to be strange. Xiao Yao's father drank the red ginseng soup that Xiao Yao gave him, and he was much better now. Although there were still some bruises on his face, at least he didn't look like a pig's head. Well, this copper coin sword has an attack bonus against zombies, and can deal 100% damage. Xiao Yao spent some time explaining the attack power of weapons to his father. Xiao Yao would not hide these from his parents. Oh, this is similar to Lin's Hengi in killing zombies. It seems that these zombies can actually be regarded as zombies. Well, that's about the idea. Dad, the facilities here in the kitchen are very complete. Show us your skills and cook a meal for everyone. Okay, I'm not bragging, your dad's cooking skills are amazing. When I was in the production group, I was in charge of meals. You're starting to brag again, go and do it. Xiao Yao's mother pushed Xiao Yao's father away, who was about to start bragging. I've said this about cooking in the production group hundreds of times. Mom, Xinru, you guys help out too. I'll go take a look around, and take care of any scattered zombies. Okay, go ahead, be careful. Xinru said. Xiao Yao. What's wrong, Mom? It's safe here, you're going out to fight zombies, you should wear this helmet first. Mom, I don't need it, you wear it. Be obedient, it's so safe here, you'll be fine, and your dad is here too. Okay then, Xiao Yao took the helmet and walked around to clean up the zombies. It was not a big problem. Xiao Yao started from the back door of the kitchen first. There were a few zombies here. Xiao Yao, wearing a helmet, solved them in a few moves. He did not walk far. There was no need to clean up any farther places. Xiao Yao returned and came to the kitchen. Dad, I remember when the doomsday came, it should be almost time to get off work. Why are there so many people in your cafeteria? Hey, they are all studying for a doctorate here. After work, these entertainments begin. These people can lose or win hundreds of thousands in one night, studying for a doctorate. Well, this driving school in the wilderness of the mountains has few people after get off work. It has become the most suitable hideout for these people. I see. Xiao Yao suddenly realized, I was wondering, it's already after get off work. Why are there so many cars outside, and there are also quite a few parked cars in front of the cafeteria? It turns out there's this layer of traffic inside. You guys cook here first, I'll go to the second floor to take a look. Since they are doing PhDs, they must have hundreds of thousands. I'll go and get it. Xiao Yao heard his father say that they were doing PhDs, so they must have a lot of money, so he got up and went to the second floor. Well, go ahead, hurry down, dinner is about to start. Got it, Dad, Xiao Yao said, and ran up to the second floor in 2 steps. Hey, hundreds of thousands of dollars have arrived soon. It seems that the 100 million goal will be achieved soon. Squeak. Xiao Yao pushed open the door, and what came into his sight was a person squatting on the ground, gnawing on an arm. Who are you? Roar. The person turned around and saw Xiao Yao coming in. He stretched out his fangs and roared at Xiao Yao, and threw the arm in his hand to the ground, bent his waist, and scanned the surroundings. After finding that Xiao Yao was alone, it seemed that he was ready to attack. Alien. Xiao Yao was puzzled. The information of the creature in front of him appeared in his vision. This was a level 10 alien. The red eyes were the sign of aliens. However, the abnormality in front of him was a bit different. He could no longer see his original appearance. He felt a bit like a monster. However, how could there be aliens here? Aliens would mutate after eating blood essence. The alien in front of him was the alien Wang Nan, who followed Xiao Yao all the way. However, after a few days of evolution, the alien Wang Nan could no longer see his original appearance. It was no wonder that Xiao Yao did not find out that it was Wang Nan. It seems that there are still many lucky people. Xiao Yao clenched the copper coin sword. The alien in front of him was the second alien Xiao Yao had seen. It actually appeared under his nose, and Xiao Yao did not notice it at all. I must finish him off as soon as possible. There are my parents and wife downstairs. Die? Xiao Yao stabbed a sword and pointed it directly at the alien's throat. The alien dodged Xiao Yao's sword by turning sideways and approached Xiao Yao quickly from the side. Hiss. A handful of flesh and blood flew up, and a piece of flesh and blood was grabbed by the alien on Xiao Yao's chest. Xiao Yao turned around and stabbed the alien's arm with a sword. Ah! Wisps of white smoke emerged from the alien's arm, and then the alien dodged and escaped from the door while Xiao Yao was stunned. Not good. Xiao Yao quickly chased after it. His parents Xinru and the others were still on the first floor. Damn it, how come this alien is the same as Wang Nan's routine, hitting and running away? If you have the ability, don't run. Xiao Yao chased after it all the way, but the alien's speed was extremely fast. Xiao Yao disappeared in the blink of an eye. Xiao Yao quickly ran to the first floor. Huh? Xiao Yao sighed. Are these aliens all the same as the ones who hid and ran away, or is the alien just now the same as the previous one? Xiao Yao was puzzled. After all, the appearance of this alien had changed a lot, and it was no longer recognizable as a human being. Hiss. Xinru, help me bandage it quickly. The damn alien made himself bleed again. What's wrong, Xiao Yao? How did you get hurt? I was scratched by the damn alien. Did you see a figure passing by? No. That's good. Xiao Yao was relieved to know that the alien didn't come to find his parents. It seemed that it was a mockery of his title of public enemy. If it was only targeting him, it would be easy to deal with. In the battle just now, Xiao Yao found a big disadvantage of himself. His attack power was very high, but it was difficult to hit the alien just now. Could it be that his agility attribute was too low? Xiao Yao glanced at his three-dimensional attributes. Strength. 132. Every 1 point of strength increases life by 1 and attack by 1. Agility. 15. Intelligence. 60. Every 1 point of intelligence increases mental power by 1. It seems that my agility attribute is indeed too low. All 106 free attributes obtained in the first round of screening at Doomsday have been added to strength. However, now there is an alien that I can't hit. This is a bit uncomfortable. I can't hit it and can't catch up. I feel like a meat shield being played by an assassin. Damn, I must think of a way to trap this alien. Chapter 231 How to Subdue Alien Species? Xiao Yao, what's going on? Who hurt you like this? Xiao Yao's mother saw that Xiao Yao's clothes on his chest were torn, revealing several claw marks inside, and asked anxiously with heartache. Mom, it's okay, just a little skin injury. Xiao Yao checked his condition and found that he was just bleeding. He just needed to bandage it. Woof woof. Duoduo also called a few times beside him, as if he was concerned about him. Xiao Yao, is it a human or a zombie? Xiao Yao's father looked solemn. With Xiao Yao's ability, ordinary zombies and humans would not be able to do anything to Xiao Yao. It's an alien species. Aliens are a new species that are twice as strong as zombies. Alien species. Well, these alien species are mutated by humans eating blood essence. Xiao Yao took out a piece of inferior blood essence. It is this kind of blood essence, which is the energy core crystal that drives zombies to move. Are you saying that if a person eats this little blood essence, he will become stronger than a zombie? Well, there's only a chance. I have only seen a human eat blood essence and mutate into an alien species. Then if we all eat this blood essence and become stronger than zombies, then we don't have to be afraid of zombies, right? Dad, it's not what you think. After humans eat blood essence, they will no longer be human. They will become monsters that are neither human nor zombie. Oh, let me put it this way. The alien species is a bit like an animal. It has very sharp fangs, agile limbs, and is very fast. Although I can kill the alien species, it is very difficult for me to hide it, which makes me very passive. This is difficult. If even you can't kill the alien species, then ordinary people like us will be able to catch them with one shot. So, we must think of a way to control the alien species. Block the doors and windows and catch the turtle in the jar. No, the alien species is also very powerful, and the doors and windows can't stop it at all. Use glue to cover the ground so that he can't run. Are you kidding? Where can I get so much glue? Then use a big net to cover him. But where can we get a big net? If a big net is available, this driving school has it. Dad, you said there is a big net in this driving school. Well, it was bought to block chickens. Later, we stopped raising chickens and the net was left idle. Great, Dad, where's the big net? In the small woods in the middle of the driving school, they used to raise chickens there. There was a chicken coop, and later, the big net was put away and placed directly in the chicken cooperative. The grove. Xiao Yao certainly knew that grove. There was a small pond next to the grove. When his father was raising chickens for the driving school, Xiao Yao had come to play. However, Xiao Yao was worried about leaving his father and his family here alone. Although the alien species came for him, if he was not there, the alien species would also attack his father and his family. Then his father and his family would not be able to withstand it. Especially now that Xiao Yao doubted whether Duoduo had such a high combat power, a tall building was built from the ground up. It was better to rely on yourself than on anyone else. Relying on a dog to protect his family, Xiao Yao was unsure. It's okay. The grove is not far to the west, only about 180 meters. You go and get it. We'll wait for you here. No, what if the alien species sneaks in after I leave? Xiao Yao's father was also in trouble. Why don't we go together? It's only 180 meters, so it shouldn't be a big problem. Xiao Yao calculated that 180 meters should be able to come back soon, and the problem of blood loss in the thick fog didn't need to be too much of a concern. Xiao Yao was still worried about leaving them here alone. Okay, let's go get it first. After a few people made some simple preparations, they came to the cafeteria hall. Xiao Yao pushed open the door of the cafeteria and went outside. He followed the south wall and passed an aisle. There was a pond in front of him. Originally, there were some fish, but they were all caught by the driving school. Xiao Yao didn't know if there were any fish now. After going south for a while, Xiao Yao and his friends followed the pavilion in the middle of the pond and lined up to go directly through the pavilion to the grove in the west. Through the thick fog, bubbles were gurgling on the surface of the pond, like boiling water. Xiao Yao and his friends came to the grove opposite the pond. Because they hadn't raised chickens for a long time, the grove had returned to its original appearance. Xiao Yao's father led the way in front. Xiao Yao was alert all the way. Not far away, a small house appeared in front of him. It was as big as a small truck. Xiao Yao's father walked in and took out a large bag of things from it. Xiao Yao tested the quality of the big net. The net was made of ropes, and its strength seemed average. He didn't know if it could trap the aliens, but there was no other way at this time. He could only give it a try. Xiao Yao walked in the front, Xiao Yao's father walked in the back, and in the middle were Xiao Yao's mother and Xinru. Duoduo ran back and forth, and they returned along the pavilion in the middle of the pond. Gurgle. Hurry up. Xiao Yao had just heard the gurgling sound in the pond, and it sounded even more real at this time. He couldn't help but speed up his pace back. He himself was not afraid of anything, but he was afraid that his family would be in danger. Woof woof. Duoduo barked twice in the direction of the pond. Don't bark nonsense. Xiao Yao scolded Duoduo. Xiao Yao was not worried about the zombies when he came out alone, but the problem was that with such a team, he would not encounter zombies if he could. He returned quickly all the way and finally returned to the canteen kitchen without any danger. Now we have a big net. Next time the alien appears, we will make him come and never come back. Xiao Yao spread out the big net. The big net was very big. After it was spread out, it was as big as the side of a bus. But how to set a trap to make the alien enter this big net? Xiao Yao was in trouble. Let's eat first. The food is cold. After eating, we will think of a solution together. Xiao Yao's mother said. Okay, let's eat first. According to my experience, this alien should not actively attack humans. They will only attack me when I lose my ability to move. At least, I haven't found that the alien will actively attack me at present. Lose the ability to move. Xiao Yao's father was puzzled. Well, after I release a skill, I will lose my ability to move for 1 minute. When I am attacked by the alien, I basically lose my ability to move within this minute. The alien I met today was also suddenly encountered by me. Now that I think about it, this alien is most likely nearby but did not actively attack us. Xiao Yao, when you say that, my hair stands on end. Do you think that the alien is nearby and staring at me now? Most likely, it's waiting for me to lose my ability to move, and then sneak attack me. Xiao Yao, what's the matter with this skill of yours? Why does it have such a big side effect? Xiao Yao told his father everything about the skill he had learned. You mean, you learned this skill by yourself? Yes, I also learned this skill by chance. Have you ever thought about improving this skill? To be honest, the side effects are too great, and 1 minute is too long. 1 minute is enough for you to die hundreds of times. Improve. Yes, since you learned the skill by yourself, why can't you learn it again and improve it? Everything has to be done by feeling your way across the river. No one can succeed in one go. If there are any drawbacks, they must be corrected in time. Is it okay? Xiao Yao was stimulated by his father's words. Xiao Yao had originally had a fixed mindset and felt that if it had become a skill, it must be released in the way of a skill. However, his father's words made Xiao Yao doubt. Since he learned the skill by himself, why couldn't he improve it? Chapter 232 Little Gain. Dad, what do you see here? It was time for dinner, and Xiao Yao didn't want to discuss anything else while eating. He took out a blue logistics box from his backpack, and couldn't help but explain the function of the reconnaissance glasses to his dad. It's really magical. However, this meteor liquor is the liquor I have always dreamed of. I didn't expect that I couldn't drink it in peacetime, but I can drink it on this doomsday. Haha, Dad, I still have 34 boxes of this meteor liquor. There are 2 small boxes in such a big box. Each small box has 6 bottles, which is enough for you to drink. There are still so many? Haha, old Xiao, can be considered a person who can afford meteor liquor. Hissa, this wine is really fragrant. Xiao Yao took a small sip, looking reluctant to drink it. Dad, just drink as much as you want. Even if you drink a bottle a day, you can drink it for more than a year. When you finish drinking it, your son will get it for you. That's right. You can drink a bottle a day for more than a year. I'll have this bottle tonight. You look like a bear. That's enough. Don't you know what you look like when you are drunk? You don't even know how much you weigh. Just drink this 1 glass. If you drink more, I will throw the wine away for you. Xiao Yao's mother picked up the remaining meteor liquor next to her and pretended to throw it away. No, don't throw it away. Can't I just have a drink? Xiao Yao saw that Xiao Yao's mother was going to throw away the remaining meteor liquor, and hurriedly agreed to drink a glass. This was meteor liquor, more than 2,000 yuan a bottle. It couldn't be thrown away. Yizinaru next to her couldn't help laughing at the happy family. Xiao Yao shook his head when he saw his father admitting his fear. Dad was good in everything except one thing, he liked to drink. Actually, it would be fine if he liked to drink, but the problem was that his alcohol tolerance was very poor. After a few glasses of liquor, he didn't know who he was. Fortunately, his mother was strict now and controlled how much Dad drank, which could not only satisfy his cravings but also prevent him from getting drunk. Xiao Yao has also drunk alcohol, but it seems that he has inherited his father's blood strength. His alcohol tolerance is also very poor. He will get drunk after 1 bottle of beer, and will pass out after 2 bottles of beer. Therefore, Xiao Yao seldom drinks. After all, to be honest, Xiao Yao thinks the taste of alcohol is really not that good. Beer is like horse urine, and white wine is like poison. He doesn't know what's good about it. Anyway, Xiao Yao doesn't like alcohol at all. This is something he did not inherit from his father's blood. It may be because he saw his father drunk too many times when he was a child, so he is very resistant to drinking from the bottom of his heart. The family gathered around the table, eating, drinking, and chatting. Soon they were full. Mom went to wash the dishes. There was a well in the back kitchen of the canteen, but without electricity, the water could not be pumped up. Xiao Yao took out another pack of mineral water for his mother to wash the dishes. It was estimated that this was the only way to wash the dishes with mineral water. The life they longed for was just like this. The family sat together to eat dinner. It would be even better if they could watch a movie or something at this time. It would be great if there was no doomsday. After dinner, they could go out for a walk together, look at the stars, and look at the moon. However, everything had changed. When they went out, they had to worry about being poisoned. When they stayed in the room, they were always worried about being killed by zombies in their sleep. Now there were aliens stronger than zombies who were always thinking about them. People had to be arranged to keep watch at night, otherwise the whole group would be wiped out. The rhythm of going to the second floor to get money was disrupted by the sudden appearance of aliens. At this time, Xiao Yao did not dare to leave his father alone. After his mother finished cleaning up, Xiao Yao said, "Dad, Mom, Xinru, Dad said that the second floor of the cafeteria actually provides a place for doctoral students. So maybe they still have a lot of cash there now. I went up there once and encountered aliens. I didn't search for cash or anything. Now I'm going to search again. You should come with me this time. I don't feel comfortable leaving you alone on the first floor with aliens around." "Well, okay, then let's act together, so we can look after each other." The group came to the easternmost room on the second floor again. This room was the largest room on the second floor. Arriving at the door, Xiao Yao gave his father the Bagua mirror. This Bagua mirror can provide 100 defense, which is still very impressive. "Dad, take this Bagua mirror. It can provide a certain defense ability and suppress zombies and undead. You wait for me at the door. The situation inside is not suitable for Mom and Xinru to see." After all, the room was full of Boss Qin and his men who were killed by Xiao Yao with his ultimate move. The room was full of broken limbs and blood. It was almost night. If Mom and Xinru saw it, they would have nightmares. "Well, then you go. We are at the door." Xiao Yao clenched a copper coin sword and pushed open the door. Xiao Yao was afraid that the alien species would come back, so he pushed the door open. There was no sign of the alien species in the room. Xiao Yao first searched for cash in the pockets of the corpses. The blood on the corpses was almost dry. Some of the corpses' clothes were already stiff with blood. Xiao Yao had no choice but to cut the pockets of the corpses. Several corpses together had less than 20,000 yuan. Could it be that they were not here to study for a doctorate? Impossible, Dad wouldn't lie to me. Xiao Yao slapped his forehead. This guy probably used QR code, WeChat, Xbao or other software to trade. I'm afraid he didn't bring any cash. Alice. I was so happy for nothing. Xiao Yao came out of the house with a tired face, took out a bottle of mineral water, let Xinru pour it, and Xiao Yao washed his hands. "How is it? How much did you find?" Xinru asked. "Very bad, very little, less than 20,000. Maybe they all paid with mobile phones, so they didn't bring any cash. Don't I say, Xiao Yao, what's the use of cash now? Didn't you say that the whole city has become a paradise for zombies? Then what's the use of cash? Isn't cash just a pile of waste paper now?" Dad asked in confusion. "Dad, you don't understand. My reconnaissance glasses require cash, and the amount required is particularly large. If I don't have money, I can't use these equipment, nor can I store and retrieve items." "Oh, then we can go to the bank. There is no place with more cash than the bank. I've had this idea before. Why don't I go back to see Mom and Dad first? I also plan to go to the bank to do something big. After all, I need money for many places, such as opening more spaces, upgrading equipment, and using skills. There are too many places that require money." "Xiao Yao, don't worry. It's the end of the world now. Cash has long become waste paper. Maybe it's only you who is still useful. In this case, no one may care about the cash, and it will become very safe." "That's what you said, but the longer you stay at home, the more dreams you have. I'm worried that if someone else can use the cash, I won't have any money left at that time." "Others? Well, I have always been worried about a question. Am I the only one who has the detection glasses?" Xiao Yao still chose to hide the ultimate secret of the mobile phone system from his closest people, Because Xiao Yao once read a book that people who practiced evil skills could read other people's memories. Although this possibility is very small, it must be prevented. When he is not strong enough to despise all living beings, Xiao Yao will keep the secret of the mobile phone system to himself. As for his parents Xinru and others, Xiao Yao will do his best to protect their safety, because this is his mission, his responsibility, and the only meaning of his survival. Chapter 233 A Man with Explosive Driving Skills. Xiao Yao, are you saying that you are not the only one who owns these glasses? That's just my guess, although I haven't seen a second person who owns these glasses so far. Although it's your guess, we have to be on guard. We should go to the bank as soon as possible and strike first. Well, as for going to the bank, I want to wait until I've arranged everything for you. I'll go by myself, and you just need to wait for me at the driving school. What you don't know is that I'm still in the status of public enemy. Public enemy. Well, in this status of mine, all humans hate me, and all zombies can't wait to eat me. When I'm in this status, I will constantly taunt zombies. I'm worried that some zombies are approaching us. This. Xinru, do you still remember Wang Nan who mutated into an alien species at the school? Today's alien species is an example. I seriously suspect that today's alien species is Wang Nan. Wang Nan? Are you saying that Wang Nan followed us all the way from school to here? That's impossible. We drove back. Did Wang Nan also drive back? No, he may have followed us all the way back. After all, his speed is far beyond that of ordinary people. What should we do? What if we attract all the nearby zombies on the way back? Wouldn't we be surrounded by zombies? This is just my guess. Maybe this alien is another one, or maybe I'm worrying too much? In short, we have to be on guard, but can't you cancel your status as public enemy? At present, there seems to be no countdown, which means that this may be permanent. At least I have no way to eliminate it at present. This is a difficult problem. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, although I'm back, I may have come back with a group of zombies. Silly child, even if you are the public enemy, your parents are still on your side. What's there to be afraid of making enemies with the whole world? Dad, thank you. Silly child, we finally get together, we can't separate again. They are just zombies. No matter how many come, we will face them together. Mom. Xiao Yao, let's face it together. Don't put all the pressure on yourself. We are a family. We should face difficulties together. If we hide behind you, we will only become a burden to you. We don't want to be a burden to you. We want to fight side by side with you. Xinru. Son, don't worry. No matter how many zombies there are, they can't scare us. Dad. Xiao Yao wanted to cry aggrieved, and then Xiao Yao suddenly wiped away his tears. Dad, Mom, Xinru, thank you for being willing to accompany me on the adventure. We are a family. Even if I risk my life, I will protect your safety. Silly child, instead of being a burden to you, we want to provide you with help. Xiao Yao didn't want his parents to take the adventure with him, but he was worried about leaving them alone in this driving school. Since his parents were willing to take the adventure with him, Xiao Yao would no longer force them. At least, they would take care of each other and they wouldn't have to be separated and worry about each other. Speaking of cash, the school's general manager's office should actually have a lot of cash. After all, it is the place where the school's financial management tuition is, so there should be some. Dad said. The general manager's office? I just came from the office building. There were a few zombies in the general manager's office, but I killed them. Yes, there is a payment window in the general manager's office. I'm afraid that's the only place in this driving school that has cash. Let's go to the general manager's office now without further ado. But it's dark now. It's okay. There are a lot of cars parked in front of the cafeteria. Let's drive there. Xiao Yao and his group left the cafeteria. Xiao Yao fumbled for a few car keys from the corpses of the zombies that had been killed long ago, and then pressed the switch of the car key. The corresponding car automatically flashed the hazard warning indicator. After getting in the car, Xiao Yao sat in the driver's seat. Xiao Yao, can you drive? I don't seem to remember that you can drive. I just learned. Yet, I was the one who drove back today. If you don't believe me, ask Xinru. Mom and Dad, it was indeed Xiao Yao who drove back today, but when we were almost home, the car Xiao Yao was driving also exploded. Xiao Yao's driving skills are amazing. Exploded. When Xiao Yao's parents heard about Xiao Yao's driving skills, they both hurriedly gripped the handles next to the seat. Xinru, is there anyone as mean as you? Mom and Dad, don't listen to Xinru. There was thick fog, and the car exploded because it had a lot of zombies on the road. The two elders did not listen to Xiao Yao's explanation, and still held the handles on the roof tightly. Oh, forget it, Xiao Yao was too lazy to explain. He was probably scared by Xinru's words. Boom boom. Xiao Yao started the car, stepped on the clutch, shifted gears, and stepped on the gas. All in one go, because his parents were still in the car, Xiao Yao stepped on the accelerator very slowly. Besides, the office building was not far away, so there was no need for Xiao Yao to drive too fast. After leaving the canteen parking lot, Xiao Yao drove into the small road east of the pond. In less than a minute, they arrived at the bottom of the office building and parked the car. Wait a minute, I'll charge my phone. Xiao Yao saw that the battery of his phone was very low, but he couldn't charge it in the office building, so he simply charged his phone in the car first. As Xiao Yao drove away, the alien Wang Non hung far behind him, not far away, not close, not leaving, not approaching, but following all the way. Roar. A low zombie roar came from the depths of the thick fog. Xiao Yao, I seem to hear the sound of zombies. I heard it too. It seems to be in the west. Yeah, it sounds like it's in the west, and it should be quite far away. Dad, were there any other people in the driving school besides those doctoral students? In addition to those doctoral students, there were several students practicing driving on the site. It seems that most of the noise came from the site. It seems there are survivors, otherwise the zombies wouldn't roar. Should we go and save them? No, I'm a public enemy, why should I save them? Maybe if I go to save them, others will attack me. But, after all, they are human beings. His dad, stop talking, Xiao Yao knows his limits. Dad, don't always have this mentality. This is the end of the world. We must first learn to protect ourselves. As for saving people, we will still save them if we have the conditions, but not everyone has to save them. This is not a moral issue, it's a survival issue. Dad, you have to know that we should survive first and then think about other things. Alice, I'm old, I'll listen to you. Xiao Yao saw that his father said he would listen to him, but was actually still reluctant, so he ignored his father. What's the use of saving Lu Chuxu and Han Yubi? Their favorability was reduced by 1,000, and they turned against him at the last minute, and even drove him away with the survivors. This is human nature. Even if you save them, they may not be grateful, or even think it is their due. Forget it, who cares? It all depends on your heart to save people or not. So many people die in this world every moment. How can you save them all? Chapter 234 Survivors of the Examination Building. System, Xiao Fu Yao, Favorability 10,634 Liang Xiao, Favorability 88,173 Xiao Yao glanced at the favorability of his parents. Their favorability was very high and they could be added to the team. Xiao Yao guessed that the reason why they were not on the friend list was probably because he had not contacted his parents when the favorability function was turned on. Xiao Yao pulled out a team list and added his parents to the team. The experience points were still evenly distributed, so that his parents could level up. At this time, they were all level 2, and the early upgrades should be very fast. However, there were 4 people now, and if the experience points were evenly divided, it was estimated that each person would get even less experience points. Boom boom. Xiao Yao drove the car to the west of the venue. Xiao Yao, didn't you say you wouldn't save people? Xinru saw Xiao Yao start the car and drive west at this time, with a smile on her face. Go and have a look. I can't rest easy if I don't help people dying. Although countless people die every moment in the world, Xiao Yao can't save them and has no ability to save them. However, in this driving school in the wilderness, I am afraid that only I can save them. Dad, point and look. Okay, son, turn left in front. Turn right. The test building is in front. Dad, the venue is so big, how can we find it? Even if there are survivors, most of them are in this test building. Yes, Xiao Yao patted his head. There was thick fog outside. Even if they were outside, they were not survivors. They were zombies. If there were survivors, they must be in this building. Squeak. Xiao Yao stopped in front of the test building and pulled the handbrake. You stay in the car first, I'll go down to check the situation. Xiao Yao got out of the car. The door of the test building was broken and fell to one side. There was broken glass on the ground. The thick fog had already poured into the test building. It seemed that even if there were survivors, it would be very dangerous. After all, there was no food here and it would be difficult to survive for 9 days. Xiao Yao could vaguely hear the roar of zombies on the second floor. Xiao Yao was about to enter, but suddenly stopped. No, we can't leave my parents alone outside. Xiao Yao came back and opened the car door. The zombies may be on the second floor. Get off the car, we will act together. Dad, you take that flashlight. The examination building is too dark, we can't do without light. Yet, Xiao Yao's father turned on the flashlight, which Xiao Yao brought from the south gate guard, but fortunately the battery was still sufficient. The moment the flashlight was turned on, the dazzling light could shine very far. After all, it was used for patrolling at night, and both the brightness and the range were very far. Several people got off the car. Xiao Yao took the lead, Dad was the last, and the others were in the middle of the team. Duaro ran around as usual. Duaro, don't bark randomly, just give me a direct reminder if there is any situation, but don't bark. Woof. Duaro barked happily, meaning that he knew. Xiao Yao was too lazy to care about Duaro. Communicating with the dog was unique. Xiao Yao, holding the copper coin sword, took the lead and walked up the stairs to the second floor. Roar. Bang. 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 The roar and knocking of the zombies came from the second floor. This examination building is not big. The reason for building an examination building here is to check the site and reverse into the warehouse on the second floor. Therefore, there is only one room on each floor of the entire examination building. With the help of the light from his father, Xiao Yao saw 2 zombies knocking on the door when he reached the second floor. With a sword in his hand, Xiao Yao killed the 2 zombies in front of him in seconds. Looking at the pitiful 23 experience points, Xiao Yao accepted the reality. At this rate, at least 10 zombies must be killed for his parents to upgrade. The door was closed, and there was already a long crack on the door at this time. Pa. Xiao Yao knocked on the door. Is anyone there? We are humans, and we are here to save you. Badgie. There was no response from the room, only the sound of eating. Something is wrong. Pay attention to protection. Xiao Yao held the copper coin sword tightly, raised his foot and kicked the door, and the door of the room was directly kicked open. Dad shone the flashlight inside in time. Ugh. Mom and Zinru turned their heads away and stopped looking inside. Xiao Yao also frowned. There were 2 people squatting on the ground in the room at this time, and there was another person lying on the ground. At this time, the person's stomach had been cut open. The 2 people squatting on the ground were eating the corpse on the ground. One of them was still pulling out his intestines and said to Xiao Yao, who opened the door with a smile, "Eat, eat." His mouth was full of blood and flesh, as if it was covered with ketchup. The survivors here are actually eating their own kind. Xiao Yao felt a chill in his heart. Let's go. Xiao Yao and the others came down from the examination building and got into the car. Boom. Xiao Yao started the car and drove away from the examination building. No one in the group spoke. They were very depressed at this time. Xiao Yao and his group were originally going to save people, but when Xiao Yao saw them eating their own kind, he no longer had the desire to save people. Not killing them was already a mercy. He killed Boss Qin and his group because Boss Qin had offended his father, and he was also angry, but the 2 survivors just now were still human beings, and Xiao Yao couldn't do it. Although Xiao Yao had been mentally prepared, when he really saw the scene of cannibalism, Xiao Yao still couldn't accept it. It was the 9th day of the apocalypse. Not everyone had enough food to survive. When people were so hungry that there was no food to eat, cannibalism became the last choice. Xiao Yao felt very uncomfortable. What was coming would come. Xiao Yao didn't kill those cannibalistic survivors, but the door was kicked open and thick fog poured into the room. It was only a matter of time before they became zombies, but his parents also had very little health. Xiao Yao didn't have time to wait for those cannibalistic survivors to become zombies. He went to the office building first, got some cash, upgraded the tattered equipment in the backpack, and armed his parents, Zinru and the others once. As for the cannibalistic survivors turning into zombies, there would be at most 2 zombies, so there was no rush. Xiao Yao stepped on the accelerator and drove all the way back to the office building. After getting off the car, Xiao Yao unlocked the south door of the office building, and then the group entered the office building. Xiao Yao locked the door again and placed a long iron plate about 10 centimeters wide and about 2 meters long across the handle of the glass door. The alien Wang Nan hid behind the car, watching Xiao Yao and the others enter the office building from a distance, waiting for Xiao Yao to get hurt, and then looking for an opportunity to seriously injure Xiao Yao. Human flesh and blood, fog energy, and double energy blessing made the alien Wang Nan evolve very quickly. At this time, Wang Nan's palm became very large, like a huge claw, and there was a slight bulge behind his back. The whole person was bent over, like a hunchbacked old man, staring at Xiao Yao, who entered the office building with bloodthirsty eyes. Yes, in his eyes, there was only Xiao Yao. Then Wang Nan licked his claws, which still had Xiao Yao's flesh and blood. This flesh and blood was much more delicious than the garbage on the east side of the second floor. Huh? The alien Wang Nan quickly leaned against the side of the car. What's wrong? Xinru saw Xiao Yao quickly turned around with a serious expression on his face, and Xinru couldn't help asking. It's okay. I feel like someone is staring at me. Xiao Yao turned his head. He had a feeling of being on edge just now. Someone must be staring at him. It's probably the damn alien again. This alien is also a coward, hiding his head and showing his tail. No, hiding your head and showing your tail is also a strategy. Although I can kill him in seconds, it is difficult to hit his vital points. That's why I can't kill him in seconds. After all, his health is too high. At this moment, I can't kill him in seconds, unless I hit his head. Stabbing his body can only seriously injure him. After a while, he will be full of blood again. He has now lost his human consciousness and now only has an instinct to know that he must escape when he is injured. What surprised me today is that the aliens have started to eat human flesh. It seems that they also need to eat. Xiao Yao, you said that the two people upstairs in the exam building just now also ate human flesh. Will they also become aliens? It shouldn't. Aliens need to eat blood essence to mutate. Really? After Xinru asked this, Xiao Yao suddenly felt unsure. Damn it, if he had known earlier, he would have killed the two of them. He let them go because of a moment of mercy. What if they didn't turn into zombies, but mutants? That would be a big trouble. Wang Nan was already having trouble with one mutant, let alone two. Xiao Yao had the urge to go back to the examination building and deal with the two cannibalistic survivors, but after looking at the time, no matter whether they turned into zombies or mutants, they should have mutated by now, so there was no need to go. Forget it, let's go to the general manager's office first, don't scare ourselves. Chapter 235, Extreme Points Edition Method, Full Power Warrior. Mom and Dad, you guys wait for me outside. This general manager's office is full of thick fog. I can go in by myself. Well, then go by yourself. We're at the door. We'll call you directly if there's anything. Well, Dad, it's up to you. Use the flashlight to illuminate. Keep an eye on the surroundings at all times. Call me immediately if there's anything. Squeak. Xiao Yao pushed the door open and entered the general manager's office. Then he immediately closed the door behind him and turned on the night vision function. There were corpses of zombies that had been killed not long ago on the ground. Xiao Yao jumped onto the counter and flipped in. He searched the holes in the desks one by one and found a few boxes of paper clips by the way. It was really an unexpected gain. After searching several desks, Xiao Yao finally found the finance desk next to a desk with a QR code on the counter. If there was a QR code, it must be a place where fees could be charged. Xiao Yao patted his head. His IQ was still a bit anxious. Xiao Yao pulled the drawer and it was locked. This was not difficult for Xiao Yao. After all, his lock-picking skills were there. For a simple lock, Xiao Yao spent 5 lock-picks to open the drawer. Wow, there is quite a lot of cash. Xiao Yao didn't count it and directly deposited it into the backpack. There was actually nearly 40,000 yuan. For such a large driving school, this amount of money is really not much. Considering that many people pay with QR codes, it is already a lot to have so much cash. Xiao Yao glanced at the money in the backpack. 153,328, 100,000 there again. The purpose at this time is money. After collecting, Xiao Yao directly stepped over the counter and left the general manager's office. How is it, did you find the money? Well, I found a little, but it's pitifully little, only 40,000 yuan. which really devalues this driving school. Nowadays, mobile payment is used. It's good to have so much cash. Where are we going now? Let's go to the second floor and rest here tonight. Okay. The group went up to the second floor again. Let's stay here. Xiao Yao pointed to the principal's office next to him and pushed the door. The door was locked. Xiao Yao unlocked it with a lock opener and pushed the door open. The room was not big, just the size of an ordinary room, not much different from the principal's office in a university. There were several sofas for meeting guests, a desk, a boss chair, several bookcases at the back, and several pots of withered plants next to them. Xiao Yao deliberately pushed the bookcase and then moved it away. There was a wall behind it. It seemed that not all principals had mistresses in their golden houses. But it was a pity that there was no double bed to sleep on. Let's do it here, Dad, Mom, let's put the sofas together. Mom Xinru, you guys sleep on the sofa, Dad and I will make do with it and take turns to keep watch. How can that be? You're tired all day, you and Xinru sleep on the sofa, and your dad and I will make do with it. Mom, just listen to me, I'll go to the next few rooms and take a look. If there are sofas, I'll move a few more over. Okay, do you want to move together? No, I'm not moving anything big, just a small one. Dad, don't turn on the headlights of the flashlight, just turn on the small light at the back. It's a waste of electricity to turn on the headlights. Well, you go ahead, I'll guard the door, don't worry, even if an alien comes, I can chop him half to death. Well, I'll go to the next room, call me if you have anything. Xiao Yao walked around the office. There was only this one door, and all the windows had anti-theft windows, so it wasn't a big problem. Then Xiao Yao pushed the door open, turned on the night vision function directly, and walked to the next room with a copper coin sword in his hand. There was no thick fog in the corridor, which meant that the aliens did not come in, because at present, the IQ of the aliens is not very high, and they should not be able to close the windows. So Xiao Yao also let his father guard the principal's office and went to move the sofa next door. Squeak. Pushing open the door next door, the door of this office has the words Vice Principal written on it. I don't know why there are so many principals for a shabby driving school with simple furnishings. Xiao Yao walked straight to the back of the desk and picked up the boss chair. Forget about the sofa because it is not as easy to carry as the boss chair. After carrying the boss chair, Xiao Yao left the vice principal's office and walked to the principal's office on the east side. The principal's office was in front. There was no sound. It seemed that the aliens would not attack in such a short time. Xiao Yao breathed a sigh of relief and knocked on the door. Dad, it's me. Squeak. The door opened. It was Xinru who opened the door. Did you find the sofa? The sofa is too big, so I just moved a boss chair back. This boss chair is not bad and quite comfortable. Well, come in. Click. Xiao Yao entered the room and locked the door directly. Dad, you go to sleep first and take over for me in the second half of the night. Then I'll go to sleep first. Alice, I haven't had a good sleep these past few days. You guys should go to bed soon too. I'll keep watch in the first half of the night. Don't waste time. Go to bed early and get enough rest. Good night. Good night. Xiao Yao saw Xinru and her mother fell asleep on the sofa, and her father also fell asleep in the boss chair behind the principal's desk. Xiao Yao opened his backpack, then took out a box of Maote liquor and unpacked it. Xiao Yao didn't drink, but simply keeping watch would inevitably make him a little sleepy. Xiao Yao unpacked the Maote liquor, took out bottles one by one, then turned the liquor upside down and placed it at the door in 2 rows. Then he came to the window and placed a row of inverted Maote liquor on the windowsill. This way, it could also serve as an early warning. Standing by the windowsill, Xiao Yao glanced at the car outside. Because the night vision function was turned on, Xiao Yao could still vaguely see the shadow of the car. Xiao Yao pressed the lock button on the car key. The car outside flashed the hazard warning indicator several times. Suddenly, a figure ran away quickly from the side of the car and disappeared into the thick fog. Sure enough, this alien was still hiding nearby, hiding next to the car. This time, he had to catch this alien. This kind of life of fear was more terrible than facing zombies directly. He was afraid that the alien would touch his neck accidentally. Xiao Yao clenched his fists. His agility attribute was too low, so low that he couldn't hit the enemy at all. System, can I ask you a question? The system did not respond, but Xiao Yao still tried to ask. What is the function of the agility attribute? System: the agility attribute determines the hit rate and speed. The greater the difference in the enemy and our agility attributes, the greater the difference in hit rate. The higher the agility attribute, the faster the movement speed and attack speed. Thank you. Xiao Yao didn't expect that the system could really explain his doubts. System: you have thoughts, right? What kind of existence are you? Is it a spirit? Or AI? Or some other substance? I feel that you are not a machine. What are you? System: why did you choose me? Why did you choose me as the host? System: because there is no other choice. Xiao Yao felt a headache. It turned out that they chose him because they had no other choice. Forget it. Since it was here, Xiao Yao was used to it. The system also selectively answered questions. If the system wanted to tell him, it would definitely answer. If he didn't want to tell him, it would be useless to scold the system. At most, it would impose another punishment on him. His agility attribute was too low. It was so low that he couldn't hit the enemy. The agility of zombies was already very low, so low that they couldn't run at all. Besides, zombies had no wisdom. Killing them was no different from killing scarecrows. However, this alien species was different. Although they were not very smart, their speed was the same as that of ordinary people, or even higher than that of ordinary people. This was the disadvantage of Xiao Yao's almost full strength, and he couldn't hit. This was fatal. If he couldn't hit, how could he kill? Now there was only one alien species, and he could still trade injuries for injuries to make the enemy retreat, but what about 2, or even more than 10? When the alien species reached the number of zombies, how much health would he have to trade injuries for injuries? But now it is very unrealistic to consider increasing the agility attribute, because I can't reset my points, and I can't find equipment to increase the agility attribute. Since I have chosen strength, I can only continue on this path, the extreme point addition method. All attributes are stacked with strength. As for hit rate, it can be compensated by equipment and external forces. Can't hit? In this case, then I can only make something to make up for the hit rate myself. Chapter 236 Open the minimap. Xiao Yao almost forgot that he could open a mysterious gift bag every day. He looked at the time and found that it was time to open it now. Open. System: B reconnaissance aircraft +1. What the hell is this? Xiao Yao checked backpack and saw that a wristband appeared in the last space of the backpack. Why is a wristband called an aircraft? Xiao Yao took out the wristband. It didn't look special, except that it seemed to be made of metal and the part close to the skin was leather. Xiao Yao put the wristband on his arm. System: found a linkable device, linking. System: linked, unmanned reconnaissance function obtained. At this time, a circular area appeared in the upper right corner of Xiao Yao's vision interface, like the stars that appeared on the screen when there was no signal on an old-fashioned TV. Then a flashing icon appeared on the right side of the screen, and Xiao Yao clicked it. Zizzy. Suddenly, a switch on the arm turned on, and a bee-sized object flew out. The little bee flew up and hovered over Xiao Yao's head. Because it was too small, Xiao Yao couldn't see what the little bee was made of. Zizzy. A sound flashed by, and then in the circular area in the upper right corner, the original snowflake pattern suddenly appeared, a beating line similar to an electrocardiogram, and then the screen turned, and a triangular green dot appeared, and there were 3 blue dots next to it. These dots were all in a rectangular box. Looking at these icons, Xiao Yao suddenly felt familiar. What is this? A small map. At this time, the interface suddenly added a small map. Xiao Yao walked around a few times. The green triangle was himself, the arrow represented the direction he was facing, and the 3 blue dots next to it should represent Yizinaru and his parents. Now even the small map has appeared, but it is very simple, with only a few geometric shapes. Xiao Yao looked up at the little bee drone in the sky. This little bee seemed to be out of his control. After turning on the skill, it just hovered above his head. He moved by himself, and the little bee also moved with him. Oh my god, why does this feel a bit like being inspected? Xiao Yao walked around a few times and finally gave up. This little bee was fixedly hovering above his head and could not be controlled at all. Xiao Yao turned over the skill bar. System: bee detection, can identify biological information within a radius of 3 meters, and consumes 1/second. After reading the introduction of the bee skill, Xiao Yao was not excited at all. This function seemed to be repeated with a function of the detection glasses, and it only marked a point on the map. The level of combat power could not be seen at all. From this point of view, it was much worse than the detection glasses. The only advantage was the 360 degrees all-round recognition. It was a waste of time to eat and a pity to throw it away. It also consumed 1 gold per second. According to this trend, when the remaining 97 mysterious gift packs were opened, what if they were all spent money? Then could I still afford it? Alice, the bank, it seems that I must rob the bank as soon as possible. Bah. What rob? It's to take it. Now there is no one guarding it, so it doesn't count as robbing. After turning off the function of the small map, Xiao Yao no longer paid attention to the mysterious gift pack, because if he opened it again, it would be tomorrow. It was useless to look at it now, and he didn't know what the next mysterious gift pack would be. Back to the question I was thinking about just now, it is unrealistic to increase agility to deal with aliens, so I can only rely on external forces. Xiao Yao glanced at this simple principal's office. It is estimated that there are no useful tools here. I will ask my father tomorrow if the driving school has a logistics department or something, and then I will find some tools. Now I can't think of what to do. In addition, improve skills. After my father's reminder, Xiao Yao also became interested in improving skills. His ultimate move, Thunderbolt Whirlwind Slash, is the only skill that can go in and out 7 times, and it is the only 360 degrees group attack skill without dead angles. Of course, this skill has many defects, such as being unable to defend against long-range enemies, and there will be a side effect when the skill ends, but this side effect is too large. 1 minute is enough for me to die hundreds of times. Recalling the movements when the skill was comprehended, the shovel was rotated, and then the centrifugal force of high-speed rotation was used to move and cut. Moreover, the biggest disadvantage of this skill is not the side effect, but the need to use a long-handled weapon, which directly limits the range of weapons Xiao Yao can use. The reason why the Whirlwind Slash causes dizziness is probably because the skill rotates for too long. Then the skill can be split up and stopped after 1 or even 2 circles. In this way, the degree of dizziness will be greatly reduced. The reason for the dizziness is probably that the centrifugal force of the rotation makes the human body unable to control its own body. In order not to affect their sleep, Xiao Yao moved the Meote wine at the door one by one, then opened the door, went to the corridor, and tried his own moves. Xiao Yao stood still, with his legs shoulder-width apart, holding the copper coin sword in his hand, the tip of the sword pointing to the sky, and slashed down quickly. Using the strength of his body and wrist, he drove the copper coin sword and then quickly turned right and swept horizontally. With the right foot as the center of the circle, the left foot rotated and rotated clockwise for 1 circle. At this time, the centrifugal force of the copper coin sword has been formed, and this force must be removed. Otherwise, if the skill is forcibly stopped, this force will be forcibly applied to the body, and the body will offset this force. The side effects are mostly the same. If it is backfired by this force, it will still be a whirlwind slash if it continues to rotate, and it can only rotate infinitely. Go, and also have to face the side effects after the skill ends. Then there is only one possibility at this time: change the direction of the copper coin sword, and shift the moving direction of the rotating copper coin sword. Now there are 2 directions to choose from, upward or downward. Without too much thought, Xiao Yao directly shifted the rotating direction of the copper coin sword upward. Using the rotation of his arm, the copper coin sword was directly brought to the vertical direction by the centrifugal force. The centrifugal force of the copper coin sword even drove Xiao Yao's body a little light. Xiao Yao simply followed this force and jumped up. Swish! Because the ceiling of the corridor was not high, the copper coin sword that was raised above the head was actually blocked by the ceiling. The tip of the copper coin sword directly sank into the ceiling halfway. Xiao Yao directly let go of the copper coin sword. If it was inserted again, the ceiling would be pierced with a hole. Because of the accident, Xiao Yao did not stop the action of jumping. Bang! Xiao Yao hit the ceiling directly. Fuck. Bang! Then Xiao Yao's fat body fell directly into the corridor. Ouch! Xiao Yao covered his head. Fortunately, he was wearing a helmet, otherwise, Xiao Yao's head would have a bump. With his weight of nearly 200 pounds, he jumped up and hit the ceiling. At this time, Xiao Yao was slumped on the ground. He took off his helmet to see if there was a bump on his head. He just wanted to improve his skills, but he almost got hurt. It seems that he can't practice his skills in the building. The place here is too small and he can't let go. Xiao Yao stood up, grabbed the copper coin sword that was still stuck in the ceiling, added his own weight, and then pulled it out directly with force. Several pieces of gravel and some dust fell off. Pooh. Xiao Yao raised his head just now. A lot of these gravel and dust fell into Xiao Yao's mouth. Fortunately, he was wearing glasses, otherwise his eyes would be full of dust. Squeak. What happened? Xiao Yao looked and saw that it was his father who opened the door. It's okay, I just accidentally fell. You're such a grown-up, but you're still so careless. Come back and rest. I'll keep watch in the second half of the night. No, Dad. You go back and rest for a while. I'm still okay. You kid, come back and rest. I'm afraid it will be hard for me to fall asleep again after you made such a big noise. You little bastard, you scared your mom and Xinru. The zombies didn't scare you, but you did. Dad, I was wrong. Xiao Yao walked into the room and looked at the sofa. Sure enough, Xinru and Mom were looking outside with sleepy faces. It's okay, you guys go to sleep. I accidentally fell when I went to the toilet just now. Xiao Yao, you're really stupid. We thought it was an earthquake and were scared to death. However, with your weight, falling down is almost the same as an earthquake. Xinru, do you believe that I will punish you according to my family rules? Come on, am I afraid of you? You. Looking at Xinru's cunning expression, Xiao Yao was helpless. His parents were both there, so there was no way he could enforce the law. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 237 Poor Acting. Together with Dad again, he put all the Maote wine bottles upside down at the door. Sure, Xiao Yao, your idea is good. In the past, the family would put a bottle on the window to prevent earthquakes. In this way, there would be a vibration before the earthquake. Once the bottle fell, the sound of it breaking on the ground would wake up the sleeping people. It was also a kind of early warning measure. There is no other way. Keeping watch is too boring. It is inevitable to split up. Having these upside-down Maote wine bottles can make it easier. Xiao Yao placed the Maote wine bottles, and then said to Duato next to him, Duato, don't touch these wine bottles, do you hear me? Woof. Duato barked, and he understood. Xiao Yao touched Duato's head, and Duato squinted his eyes, looking very happy. Xiao Yao looked at Duato. Dogs are much more alert than humans. With Duato around, Xiao Yao felt a lot more relieved. No matter whether Duato is very strong or not, at least he can be a little bit of a warning, which is not useless. Okay, Xiao Yao, you should take a break too. I'll be here to watch in the second half of the night. I'll call you if there's any problem. Okay, I'll leave it to you, Dad. Xiao Yao came to the back of the principal's desk, sat on a boss chair, and put his feet on another boss chair. Thinking back to the movements he had just practiced, if everything went well, the body that jumped up would use gravity and his own weight to drive the copper coin sword to chop down. This force should be quite strong, but it was a pity that it was interrupted halfway through, and the system did not give a prompt for the comprehension of skills. According to Xiao Yao's inner guess, in this way, at least the rotation force would be completely unloaded, and there would be no side effect of dizziness. However, this is just Xiao Yao's guess. Whether there are side effects or not, it still needs to be actually performed once. However, the venue in the building is too small to be used at all, and it can only be performed again when conditions permit. Perhaps he was tired, and soon, Xiao Yao fell asleep. December 11th, 2114, today is the 10th day of the apocalypse. The thick fog that disappeared for a day has returned again. This is the second day of the thick fog's return. In the haze, Xiao Yao woke up. There was no way, because he dreamed of looking for a toilet. Dad had already fallen asleep against the wall. Xiao Yao shook his head. Dad was too tired. Xiao Yao looked at his mother and Xinru again. Their health points were full. There was no problem. Xiao Yao was relieved. Dad was really something. He was obviously exhausted, but he didn't wake him up to change shifts. Xiao Yao moved the inverted Maote wine away, half-closed his sleepy eyes and went to the toilet in the west. Hiss, Xiao Yao peed, why is it so cold? Suddenly Xiao Yao opened his eyes wide. Why was the window of the toilet open? No. Xiao Yao pulled up his pants and ran back to the principal's office in 2 steps. Huh? Fortunately, it was okay. At this time, Xiao Yao discovered that there was a faint mist in the corridor of this building. Xiao Yao closed the door with a serious face. It was not the first time that Xiao Yao went to the toilet, but this time, the window was open, and there was a burglar-proof window outside. The window would not open by itself unless someone opened it. This was the 2nd floor, and it was impossible to open it from the outside. So there was only one possibility: someone on the 2nd floor. Open the small map. Zizzy. The snowflake screen of the small map flashed for a while, and then the small map appeared. At this time, there was only his own triangle and the 3 dots of his parents Xinru and others on the small map, and no other information. In other words, the person on the 2nd floor, no, it should not be called someone, most likely the alien who followed him. How did he get in? Why was there no movement? Hubby, what's wrong with you? Why do you look so bad? Xinru was the first to wake up at this time. She had already gotten off the sofa and walked to Xiao Yao's side for a long time, but Xiao Yao didn't notice. There are other people on the 2nd floor, or the alien has come to the 2nd floor. What should I do then? No problem. Xiao Yao glanced at the small map. There was no one else except his own dots. It seemed that the alien was not near him. Xiao Yao was worried and walked around the office again. All the information within a radius of 3 meters was displayed on the small map. Unexpectedly, the function of this small map was very useful at this time. At least, it could give Xiao Yao 360 degrees no dead angle reconnaissance. After a while, Mom and Dad woke up one after another. Dad, Mom, the alien is on the 2nd floor. We must find a way to catch him now, otherwise we will be worried for the rest of our lives. Again. Well, not only did it come, it also opened the window over there by the toilet. Now the corridor is filled with thick fog. What should we do? It's okay, we're still safe in the room. Xiao Yao had a serious face. It was impossible for him to stay in the room forever. This was not a permanent solution. Let's eat first, and then think of a way after we're full. Xiao Yao took the school bag, took out the food from it, and put it on the table. There was only 1 bag of food left out of the 2 school bags. There was not much food left in Boss Kin's cafeteria, otherwise there would be no problem with food distribution. It seemed that this driving school was not a place to stay for long. Such a big driving school didn't even have a supermarket. It was so low. He could only go back to the village again. There was a supermarket in the village. He would search the supermarket first, otherwise the food would be a problem. The driving school was imagined to be a perfect base, but the space was not good at all and it was impossible to survive. Yes. What's wrong, Xiao Yao? Since the aliens will only attack me when I am seriously injured, then let's use their own tricks against them. What do you mean? Yes, I will pretend to be seriously injured, and then lure the aliens to attack me. Then, I will use the big net that you brought, Dad, to trap the aliens. Then, it will be easy to kill them. We will do this, and then this. Is this feasible? It doesn't matter if it doesn't work. We won't lose anything anyway. We don't have much time. If the other party doesn't take the bait, we will evacuate as soon as possible. After all, there is thick fog in the corridor. After opening the door, the fog will also flow into this office. Okay, let's do as Xiao Yao says. After the family finished breakfast, the dad spread the big net, and then the 3 of them each grabbed a part and hid at the door. Then Xiao Yao opened the door and shouted, "Ah!" Then Xiao Yao fell directly in the aisle and was silent, but at this time Xiao Yao was always paying attention to his small map. At the end of the corridor, near the toilet, after hearing Xiao Yao's roar, a figure appeared beside the toilet. Who else could it be but the alien Wang Nan? At this time, his scarlet eyes stared at Xiao Yao, who was lying on the corridor. His eyes were distracted, but he did not take any action. Damn it, why is there no movement after so long? Xiao Yao waited for almost 3 minutes, but the alien did not come to attack him. Is his acting too bad? He can't even fool this kind of alien with no IQ. Chapter 238 Killing the Alien Wang Nan. Hoo-hoo. Just as Xiao Yao was complaining about why the damn alien hadn't come to attack him, there was a sound of breaking wind in the corridor. Here it comes. Xiao Yao turned his head slightly and glanced at the end of the corridor, only to see a black shadow quickly running towards this side. Dad, get ready. Xiao Yao glanced at the distance of the black shadow and began to count down for his father. 3, 2, 1 catch. At this time, the father and others threw the big net directly out of the principal's office, in the direction of Xiao Yao lying on the ground. A figure appeared in front of Xiao Yao, stretched out his hands to catch Xiao Yao who was lying on the ground, and suddenly a big net appeared next to him and covered him. The moment the alien turned his head, Xiao Yao instantly rolled to the side, and then the big net directly covered the alien. The alien looked back and found that Xiao Yao in front of him had already rolled over, and he didn't want to fight anymore, so he turned around and ran away. Where are you running to? Xiao Yao grabbed the corner of the net and pulled it hard. The net was tied up like a cloth bag. Xiao Yao had slightly improved the net by adding a rope on the edge. When the rope was pulled, the net would become a pocket. The alien was lying in the net on the ground, scratching at it. I told you to run, to attack me, again and again, it's endless. Xiao Yao stabbed the alien in the net with his sword. Each time, he could deal 820 damage. When he stabbed 2 swords, the alien was dead. However, Xiao Yao couldn't stand the resentment in his heart. He stabbed more than 10 swords in a row before stopping. The alien's body was riddled with holes, and pus and blood flowed out of it. System: experience plus 35, money plus 140, inferior blood essence plus 1 because the backpack was full, no equipment was picked up. Xiao Yao also formed a habit. After killing the monster, he looked at his feet. At this time, a claw appeared under his feet. Xiao Yao leaned over to pick it up. System: nether claw, plus 25 attack, combat power plus 25, durability 1000/1000. Xiao Yao played with this nether claw. This claw was completely a bone claw. The whole claw was black and red, like a huge palm, but it was in the posture of the 9 yin bones. However, this claw was actually a bone handle. It felt weird to hold it in my hand. It felt like I was holding someone else's bones to fight. Moreover, the attack attribute was pitifully low, only 25 points. Xiao Yao, this doesn't seem to be the alien species that was originally in school. This alien species looks so strange, like a monkey. Xinru observed the alien species for a while and said to Xiao Yao in confusion, "It must be him. Look at the tattered clothes on him. There's our school badge on it. There really is a school badge. The clothes are so tattered. Thanks to your careful observation. It looks really strange. It seems that this blood essence can't be eaten casually. It becomes a bear like this. Even if it becomes stronger, what's the use?" Dad looked left and right at the alien corpse on the ground, shaking his head from time to time. "Why, Dad, are you still thinking about eating blood essence? If it can make you stronger, it doesn't matter if you eat it, but seeing that the side effects are so great, I decided to give up. Dad, just break this idea and swallow it. I will protect you from now on." Okay, you come to protect us. Let's go to the vice principal's office next door first. There is thick fog in this corridor. The group ran to the vice principal's office next door. "Dad, why does a driving school have so many vice principals? I saw a few vice principals' offices nearby. Do we need so many of them?" "You don't understand. These are all bosses who have invested in the driving school. The principal is the chairman of the board, and the vice principals are just a few vice chairmen. Take the principal's office where we stayed last night. Basically, you don't see anyone there a few times a year, but the office still has to be kept. The vice principal's offices are basically empty. Only the director's office on the first floor is permanent. These are just decorations. Even if no one is there, an office is left." "Oh, is that so? That's what I was saying. Why are there so many offices of principals and vice principals? It turns out they are all investors." Xiao Yao walked around the vice principal's offices, and now he finally understood why these offices were so simple. Although they were spotless, they were deserted. It turned out that no one worked here at all. Xiao Yao stood by the window, staring at the thick fog outside in a daze. Suddenly, the hidden thread of the alien Wang Nan was gone. Xiao Yao felt like he didn't know what to do. "Xiao Yao, where are you going next?" "Dad, I originally wanted to survive in this driving school, but when I got here, I found that the food here won't last long. Growing vegetables can't solve the urgent problem. I plan to go back to the village again and plunder the supermarket there." "Then what?" "Then come back and use this office building as a base to reinforce the surrounding doors and windows and wait for rescue." "Xiao Yao, Don't blame Dad for being too talkative. Don't even have the idea of waiting for rescue. It's the 10th day of the apocalypse. If there is rescue, it would have come long ago. But there is one thing I don't understand. The country's military aircraft force should have millions of people. It should not be difficult to kill these zombies with machine guns. Why didn't I hear a single gunshot along the way, and I didn't even see anyone from the military aircraft department? Even a corpse would be fine. I could pick up a gun or something, but I can't even see a shadow. I'm afraid that the Grand Council has already fallen, or there is another possibility. Dad, what possibility is? We are under lockdown. Locked down. One possibility is that this doomsday is global in nature, and no one is free to rescue. Another possibility is that this doomsday is regional, and in order to prevent the disaster from spreading, the Grand Council may seal off the city where the disaster occurred. But, can they seal off the city and the thick fog? The thick fog can penetrate everywhere. This thick fog is strange, don't you think it's a bit like a biological weapon bomb dropped by the enemy? Dad, are you saying that this thick fog is a biological weapon bomb dropped by the enemy? I'm just guessing. If it's a biological weapon, then as I guessed, the Grand Council has not fallen, but it has sealed off the city to prevent the disaster from spreading. Then won't they come to rescue us? Of course they will rescue us, but they can't come to die in vain. Or, they have already sent people to rescue us, and they may not know the danger of the thick fog, and they may have turned into zombies. So, they gave up on the rescue. I believe they will not give up on the rescue. They may be racing against time to research an antidote that can ignore the thick fog outside. Researching an antidote is not easy. I'm afraid that the survivors in this city can't even wait for the day when they develop an antidote. It was also thanks to the fact that I was cleaning the cafeteria at the time and was lucky enough to stay there. There was still some food to fill my stomach. If I was in the examination building, I might have become a cannibal or the one being eaten by now. After all, it has been 10 days since the apocalypse, and even the cafeteria's inventory has been eaten up, not to mention those places without food. Now that you're back safely, your mother and I are relieved. What we are more worried about is your sister who is far away in the city center. Sister. Xiao Yao clenched his fists. Xiao Yao has a sister. Yes, his biological sister. Xiao Yao's sister lives in a 40-story building in the city. The surrounding area is the business district of the entire city. No matter whether it is a residential building, a commercial building, or an office building, they all stand tall like a forest. The population density in the surrounding area is frighteningly high. Now it is the end of the world, and the number of zombies is probably an astronomical figure. Chapter 239, Driving School Internal Gas Station. Oh, I don't know how your sister is doing. That's the city center, there are many zombies and little food. The real situation is probably worse than we thought. Mom sighed and said with a worried look on her face. Mom, let's go to my sister's house. Maybe my sister is thinking about us, just like I am thinking about you. Maybe my sister is waiting for us to save her. Your dad and I won't go with you. We will be a burden if we follow you. We can't help you at all, and we will distract you. We will stay in this driving school and wait for you until you pick up your sister. Mom, how can that be? I'm worried about leaving you here alone. We've decided. We'll stay in this driving school and not go anywhere. Your dad and I are old and can't afford to go through so much trouble. We might be eaten by zombies on the way. It's better for us to stay in this driving school. We might even be able to survive. Mom. Xiao Yao, listen to your mom. We'll stay in this driving school and not cause you any trouble. The world outside is very dangerous and exciting. Without us holding you back, you will definitely be more relaxed. Dad? Okay, stop talking. We've made up our mind. Don't persuade us anymore. Dad waved his hand. But the doors and windows of the driving school cafeteria are too fragile. I'm worried that it's not safe here. Silly child, who wants to be in the cafeteria? Ah. Then where are you going? There is a gas station to the west of the driving school. That's the driving school's internal gas station. There used to be a person stationed there, with all the necessary food, clothing, housing and transportation. But later, a new gas station opened on the highway outside the driving school, and the oil price was quite cheap, so the gas station inside the driving school became abandoned. It's just the right place to live, and most importantly, there is an underground oil depot over there, but it's empty. If you clean it up, it can be used as a cellar. You shouldn't be afraid of zombies if you live in it. Besides, because it's a gas station, it's far away from the venue and buildings, so there are few empty areas around it, and it's relatively safe. Well, Mom and Dad, since you already have a suitable place, I won't force you. I'll come back to find you after I pick up my sister. But before I go, I'll clean up all the zombies in the driving school and give you a safe environment. We can't help you with cleaning up the zombies, so it's up to you. Hey, then, Mom and Dad, let's go to the gas station you mentioned now. I'll see what kind of good place it is. The group came down from the second floor. At this time, Xiao Yao found that the door of the general manager's office on the first floor was actually open. He clearly remembered that it was closed last night. Xiao Yao poked his head in and found that the anti-theft window outside the window on the first floor of the general manager's office was broken into a big hole. It seems that the alien Wang Nan came in from here. Xiao Yao turned around and came to the south gate of the office building and took down the 2-meter-long iron plate on the door handle. This iron plate is quite long and can be used as a weapon. Collect. System, the item is too large and cannot be collected. Comma, system, what is the maximum size of the item that the backpack can collect? System, backpack, can store and retrieve inanimate objects with a volume of 1 cubic meter. 1 cubic meter? Is there no way to increase this space? System, level 2 system, can store and retrieve inanimate objects of 10 cubic meters. Level 2 system. Xiao Yao glanced at Xinru next to him. The reward for helping Xinru find the mysterious woman was to upgrade to the level 2 system. However, Xiao Yao had no idea at this time. He originally carried the soul-locking orb with him to track the mysterious woman. However, because he was with his parents, Xiao Yao put the soul-locking orb in his backpack. It seems that after settling his parents, he still has to carry the soul-locking orb with him. If the mysterious woman does not appear, he will find another way. Xiao Yao likes this 2-meter-long iron plate very much, but it cannot be put into the backpack, so he can only carry it like this. Xiao Yao, what are you doing with such a long iron plate? It won't fit in the car when we get in. Do we have to open the car window? This iron plate suits my taste. I was thinking that with this 2-meter-long iron plate, I can kill zombies from 2 meters away. I don't even need to get close. Then you can just take a 40-meter machete, turn around and kill the zombies within a 40-meter radius. You are worthy of being my good wife. You are smart. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to find a 40-meter machete, so that I can clear a map with a whirlwind slash. Xiao Yao. I'm just talking casually, don't take it seriously. Too late, I already took it seriously. 40-meter machete, here I come. Xiao Yao pinned the 2-meter iron plate to the roof of the off-road vehicle, simply fixed it with a rope, and then opened the door of the cab. Dad, where's the gas station? Go straight. Turn right. Turn left. Okay, keep going, slow down, it's down this slope. Squeak. Xiao Yao stopped next to a small house that was not very eye-catching. Up, Dad, this gas station you mentioned seems. It's a bit shabby, right? There's just a small house on the ground, and the key here is underground. Okay, let's go and see what you said about underground. The door was locked, but this did not bother Xiao Yao, who opened it with a lockpick. Huh? Xiao Yao waved his hand, and a pile of dust fell from the door frame the moment he opened the door. The room also looked like it had not been cleaned for a long time, and the dust was very thick. What caught his eye was a simple desk, with a few rows of chairs placed next to it. Xiao Yao came to the next room, which was filled with a pile of pots, pans, stoves and daily necessities. There was also a bunk bed next to it, but there was no bedding on it, only the bare bedboard, which was covered with a thick layer of dust. Dad, where's the cellar you mentioned? I said we can make a cellar, but there is not a cellar now, come on. Dad led the way, Xiao Yao followed behind, and Mom and Xinru had already started to clean up in the room. After leaving the small room of the gas station, Dad led Xiao Yao to a place not far to the west, where they could see a huge iron cover with many pipes next to it, and part of a huge oil storage tank was exposed on the ground. Dad, you are not going to live in this oil tank, are you? There is no gasoline in it? Won't it explode? The oil tank has been drained a long time ago, and it's empty now. That won't work either, it's full of gasoline smell, how can people live here? You little bastard, I didn't say you live in the oil tank, I said there were originally 2 oil tanks next to the oil tank, and then one was taken away, leaving only one, so the space next to it is empty. Lift up the iron lid, and there's a big space underneath. Wait, Dad, if we lift it up, the thick fog will rush in. What's the point of going in then? Thanks for reminding me, I almost forgot. What should I do then? Oh. I thought, Dad, you really found a good place. Xiao Yao shook his head. This place was indeed very good, but there were many problems. There was an oil storage tank next to it. Although there was no gasoline, the oil storage tank was very dangerous and could explode. What's more, the area under the iron cover was equivalent to reservoir. Although it had not rained for a long time, if it rained, wouldn't it become a pool of water? This place would not work at all. Of course, there must be a drainage channel here, but looking at the appearance of the iron cover, it would definitely leak. Dad, frankly speaking, the place you found is really not good. There are too many problems, and they can't be solved in a short time. Is there no other suitable place? Other places? There are only a few buildings in the driving school. Where else can there be? The cafeteria has too many doors and windows, and there is foam in the middle of the wall. This office building is also in thick fog, and there is also thick fog in the examination building over there. Now the only gas station in the entire driving school that is not foggy. Next to the driving school, is there any suitable place, a single family building, with few people around, and a relatively safe place? Single family building, sparsely populated around, hiss, there is really such a place as you said, and there is more than one. Where? One is the tea garden southwest of the driving school. It's located in a remote area. There is only one row of houses in the entire tea garden, 10 large tiled houses, and tea trees are all around. The driving school is to the north of the tea garden, the highway is to the west, and there is a cemetery to the east. It can be said that it is located in a very remote area. The other one is on the back mountain north of the driving school. There is a family there who are also the mountain protectors of the 3 mountains in this area. The conditions of these 2 places are similar to what you said. Tea garden? Mountain protectors. Chapter 240 Heading to the back mountain. Mountain guardian. Xiao Yao muttered. He gave up the tea garden. To the east was the cemetery. Although cremation was being done now, it still felt strange to live next to the cemetery. Dad, let's go back to the gas station first. Don't stay in this thick fog for too long. Xiao Yao pulled his dad into the gas station and closed the door. Mom and Xinru were still cleaning. Mom, Xinru, stop cleaning. We're not here. We need to find another place. Isn't this place good? No, the house is too shabby, and the oil storage tank Dad mentioned is not safe either. Then where should we go? There are 2 places to go now, one is the tea garden in the south, and the other is the mountain viewing courtyard on the back mountain. Xiao Yao gave up the tea garden directly. It was the mountain guard's place that interested Xiao Yao. If he remembered correctly, this soul-locking bead was given to him by the old man who claimed to be the mountain viewing man. What on earth was the old man thinking? He gave himself this soul-locking bead and named it the soul-coming bead? However, Xiao Yao hesitated again. If the old man was still on the mountain, and he could take out the soul-locking orb, then he must not be an ordinary person. Would he be his opponent now? Xiao Yao suddenly lost his confidence. There were 2 speculations. The old man didn't know the real name of the soul-locking orb, so he might have wronged him. There was another possibility. The old man knew the function of the soul-locking orb, but deliberately didn't tell it. Then, it was a bit hard to figure out what he was thinking. Because of his mistake before rebirth, he didn't see the level of the old man. This made Xiao Yao a little scared. What if the old man was a bad guy, and his level was quite high? If he took his parents and wife to seek refuge with him, wouldn't it be like a sheep walking into a tiger's mouth? Such a powerful person, if unfortunately he turned into a zombie, would also be a boss-level existence. Could he kill him? All kinds of speculations made Xiao Yao wonder whether he should go to the back mountain. However, this back mountain might also have clues to his main task. Alice. Xiao Yao sighed. Xiao Yao, actually, I think it's a good idea to go to the back mountain. There's a highway next to the tea garden. You can't guarantee that zombies from the highway will come here. It's not very safe. Seeing that Xiao Yao thought for a long time without any movement, the father also expressed his thoughts. Well, I also think the back mountain is good, but the back mountain. What's wrong with the back mountain? Dad, The old man who watches the mountain in the back mountain is very likely a master, and I can't confirm whether he is a friend or an enemy now. Old man. Yes, I have seen the old man who watches the mountain in the back mountain before. You are wrong, the one watching the mountain in the back mountain is an old lady. What? Old lady? Yes, there used to be an old man and an old lady. Later, the old man died, and now there is only an old lady left. When did the old man die? About 1 to 2 years. The old man who watches the mountain is dead. Xiao Yao looked unconvinced. This was a bit beyond his expectation. The old man who watched the mountain was dead, and he had been dead for so long. How could it be possible? The old man was obviously not an ordinary old man. By the way, Dad, is there a little girl in their family? Little girl? No, they are an old couple and have no children. How could there be a little girl? It's over. The deviation was too big, and Xiao Yao couldn't confirm it for a while. Could it be that after the rebirth, the little girl was directly reborn and disappeared? Or, the old man had lied to me in the first place, and they were not from this mountain at all. Perhaps, they must have come from somewhere else. In this way, it would make sense. In this case, the back mountain seemed to be safe. There was only one old lady, and there was no danger to zombies or survivors. Then let's go directly to the back mountain. How to get there? The north gate of the driving school is blocked. If you drive there, you need to take a detour from the south and make a big detour to the east to reach the mountain in the north. Hey, why bother? Just push down the blocking wall. Xiao Yao waved his fist. Don't worry, I feel that I have great strength now. It's just a wall, it's not difficult to push it down. Xinru, you drive. Let's go, Mom and Dad, let's go to the back mountain. What about the 2 cannibal survivors? No hurry, after settling Mom and Dad, we still have to pass by here to go to the city, and it won't be too late to solve them all at once. Boom boom. Xinru started the off-road vehicle and slowly drove towards the north gate of the driving school. Not long after driving, they came to a wall. You guys stay in the car, I'll just go down and push it. Xiao Yao opened the car door and came to the wall. The wall was just made of ordinary bricks with a layer of cement on the outside. Xiao Yao pressed the wall with both hands, kicked the ground with both feet, and pushed hard. The wall shook twice, and there was already a crack where the wall connected to the pillar. Xiao Yao turned around and pushed hard again. Bang! The whole wall collapsed directly, and it collapsed very neatly. 2 unfortunate zombies were directly hit by the wall and were roaring angrily at this time. Ah! An unexpected harvest. Xiao Yao thrust out the copper coin sword, and understood these 2 zombies. The zombies gave him some experience and used it as a paving stone. Xiao Yao waved to Xinru behind him, drive out. This is an off-road vehicle, so there should be no need to worry about crushing a few rocks. Xiao Yao did not clear the bricks on the ground, and directly asked Xinru to drive the car over. Xinru slammed the accelerator twice, and drove over the fallen wall and the zombies on the ground, drove out of the driving school, and stopped on the side of the road. Xiao Yao opened the co-pilot and got on the SUV. Let's go to the back mountain, Dad will show you the way. The SUV left a black exhaust and drove eastward. To the east of the grove, outside the westernmost wall of the driving school, there were several large black holes. There were many zombies around the holes, all swaying like they were taking a walk in a square dance. Dust flew out of the large black holes from time to time. Inside the driving school, at a place with a mound of earth, suddenly, the mound of earth collapsed. After a while, the heads of several zombie dogs appeared in the collapsed place. Then the collapsed space became larger and larger. The zombie dogs dug up the collapsed earth, and a large pit appeared in front of them. These zombie dogs were actually digging a tunnel. The passage was opened, and the zombie dogs at the back filed in, pouring into the wall of the driving school from outside. The zombies at the back also followed and poured into the dug hole, but the hole was too small, and the zombies couldn't get in at all. The zombies at the back thought that the zombies in front had already entered, and they squeezed forward. Suddenly, above the tunnel dug by the zombie dogs, the wall collapsed, crushing several zombies into the soil. The zombies at the back found a gap, and stepped on the zombies in front to pour into the driving school. After the group of zombies poured into the driving school, several poor zombies died directly, and died in the tunnel dug by the zombie dogs. They were trampled to death by their own kind, and were buried directly. Chapter 241. This is about to be published. The zombie dogs rushed into the driving school and ran directly towards the examination building, because the examination building was the closest building to them. The bloody smell inside attracted these zombie dogs. Now, they have not eaten fresh flesh and blood for a long time. The zombies behind also rushed towards the examination building, and some ran directly towards the cafeteria. In the small room on the second floor of the examination building, 2 survivors who had eaten the corpses of their own kind curled up on the ground, as if they had smoked a unique drug and were too happy to get up. Suddenly, several zombie dogs rushed in from the broken door. More and more zombie dogs behind them pounced directly on the body of the survivor on the ground, which had been eaten to the point of being almost gone, and ate it unscrupulously. The 2 survivors were so scared that they took a few steps back. Their backs were against a corner of the wall, and there was no way to retreat. What should we do? It's over, we're done, there are so many dogs. Huh? They don't seem to attack us. It seems, that's what's going on. Roar. At this time, the shadows of zombies had appeared at the door. Oh no, zombies are coming. A quarter of an hour later, the zombie dogs and the zombie group finished sweeping the examination building and began to rush to the cafeteria. Several zombies with negative IQs were stuck in the corner and could not keep up with the main group. They kept swaying back and forth in the room. The 2 survivors in the corner had already lost control of their bowels and bladder, and a foul smell came from their crotch. We, unexpectedly, were saved, one of them said tremblingly. After a while, they eased their tension. Why didn't the zombies attack us? You ask me, who should I ask? The zombie group and the zombie dog group ignored the 2 survivors, which made them feel like they had survived a disaster. They took off their pants that were already stained with feces and urine, and walked out of the room. It seems that God is not going to kill us. These zombies don't even attack us, so what are we afraid of? Let's go to the cafeteria. I'm so hungry that I have to eat 3 days worth of food this time. Brother, I still don't understand why the zombies don't attack us. Hey, why do you care so much? Maybe the zombies think we are air. I always feel uncomfortable. Do the zombies treat us as the same kind? But we are obviously human. I don't know. Why do you have so many questions? It's possible that the zombies treat us as the same kind. After all, we are doing the same thing as the zombies now. The same thing. Zombies eat humans, and we eat humans too. In that case, it makes sense that we are the same kind as them. Haven't you seen these dogs living in peace with zombies? Why can't we? The 2 patted their cold butts and ran to the cafeteria. I'm sick of eating the meat of my own kind. I must eat some whole grains. I don't know if there are any vegetables. I really want to eat some cucumbers, tomatoes, etc. Forget about tomatoes. I feel like vomiting when I see red things now. Okay, then eat green ones. If you want to have a good life, you have to eat more green. Brother, the original sentence doesn't seem to say that. Why bother so much? You're so long-winded. The 2 of them quickly disappeared into the thick fog, and no one could be seen. The direction of the canteen was ahead. Boom boom boom. Zinru drove the off-road vehicle onto the winding mountain road. Dad, is this the house in front? It's still early. Turn right at the big yard in front. Dad, what is the big yard in front for? It looks like a big place. The big yard in front is a cemetery. Why, do you want to live there? Cemetery. There's a village in the city being demolished, and these are the graves they moved over there. Dad, you didn't say there is a cemetery here too. Xiao Yao looked reluctant. He thought it was disgusting enough that there was a cemetery over there in the tea garden, and there was also a cemetery here. Damn, it's unlucky just thinking about it. What are you afraid of? They are just urns. Can they come out and scare people? The locations of these cemeteries are carefully chosen, and they are all feng shui sites. Is it close to here from the other side of the mountain? This cemetery is on the west side of the mountain, and the courtyard overlooking the mountain is on the east side of the mountain, separated by a mountain. What are you afraid of? Oh, that's good, that's good. Xiao Yao patted his chest. He felt uncomfortable being with this cemetery. After a bumpy ride, Xiao Yao and his companions finally arrived at a small courtyard in the woods on the top of the mountain. Zinru stopped the SUV. Wait for me in the car. I'll go explore the road. Xiao Yao got out of the car and came to the courtyard. The wall was made of stone, not even cemented. It felt like it would fall down if pushed. This courtyard is really simple. Xiao Yao glanced around. It was because there were no zombies here. If there were zombies, the wall would not be enough to poke with a finger. Squeak. Xiao Yao pushed open the wooden door of the courtyard, held the copper coin sword tightly, and walked straight to the thatched house opposite. The house in front of him was also old. It was a thatched roof and the door was also a wooden door. Squeak. The wooden door was not locked, so Xiao Yao pushed it open directly. In broad daylight, the house was so dark that he couldn't see clearly. Xiao Yao turned on the night vision directly. Roar. The moment he turned on the night vision, a low roar came from in front of him, and a terrifying zombie's big face appeared in front of him. The corners of his mouth were cracked to the back of his neck, revealing a big mouth. Fuck. Xiao Yao was frightened and took a few steps back. There was a threshold at the door, and Xiao Yao tripped and fell on his back. The zombie rushed towards Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao rolled to the side and quickly got up. At this time, the zombie was still lying on the ground. Seeing that he missed, he looked up and glared at Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao nervously held the copper coin sword in his hand. This zombie has evolved into the claws of Wolverine? The zombie scratched several long deep pits on the ground. If it was caught, blood and flesh would fly everywhere. While the zombie didn't get up, Xiao Yao stabbed the zombie's head with a sword. Weakness critical damage directly ended the life of this zombie. System, experience plus 100 money plus 100 huh? Xiao Yao was scared. He was careless just now. The moment he opened the door, he didn't expect the room to be so dark. He almost fell into the zombie's trap. It seems that in the future, before opening the room, he must turn on the night vision function. Xiao Yao closed the door first, then turned back to check the loot that the zombie dropped at his feet. Red ginseng, bundle, can be used to make soup. This? Are these things starting to explode now? Xiao Yao looked at the bundle of red ginseng in his hand. There were about 30 roots. If he made red ginseng soup, he could make a lot of it. The stock of red ginseng soup was already running out, but he didn't expect to get so much here. It seems that he can make some more, just in time to leave some for his parents before leaving. Xiao Yao glanced at his feet and found nothing else. He opened the door and came into the house. The night vision function was still on, so Xiao Yao searched side by side. The whole house exuded a musty smell, which usually existed in the rooms of the elderly. Xiao Yao pulled up the oxygen mask, which could more or less serve as a mask to block it. On the right-hand side of the door is a low stove with some firewood next to it. Next to the stove is a water tank with half a tank of water in it. Not far to the right is a heated bed with some bedding neatly placed on it. There are several cabinets at the north wall with a large dustpan on top. Xiao Yao approached and saw many bundles of tree roots in the dustpan. Red ginseng, bundle, can be used to make soup. How can there be so many red ginseng? Xiao Yao was shocked. These are life-saving things. How could there be so many at once? Xiao Yao quickly opened the cabinet below and saw a cabinet full of red ginseng neatly placed in it. This is going to be rich. Xiao Yao's eyes widened like copper bells. Chapter 242. The whole family is mobilized. This is going to be a fortune. Xiao Yao looked at the pile of bundles of red ginseng in the dustpan, and then Xiao Yao opened the door of the cabinet below, only to see a cabinet of bundles of red ginseng neatly placed inside. Without collecting these bundles of red ginseng, there was another room on the west side. Xiao Yao walked straight to the west room, lifted the curtain, and there was a small bed inside. It seemed that there was only one zombie in this small courtyard. Xiao Yao pushed open the door and dragged the zombie body at the door to the wall. Then he came to the SUV at the gate of the yard. Pa pa pa. Xiao Yao knocked on the car window. Dad, Mom, Xinru, you all come down, it's safe now. How many zombies are there? We just heard the sound of you fighting. Only one, I have killed it. Several people got out of the car and walked through the gate outside the yard to the thatched house inside. There were some bloodstains on the ground, but they didn't look blood red. At first glance, they were zombie bloodstains. After entering the thatched house, Xiao Yao closed the door, and then took out the 4 boxes of things in the backpack, and put them on the ground. In these boxes, there were 2 boxes of clothes, and the other box was pots and pans and some oil, salt, sauce and vinegar, and 1 box was some rice and flour. Mom, these are from home. Xinru, you and Mom and Dad sort them out, I have something to do over there. Okay, you go and get busy. After taking out 4 boxes, the backpack now has 4 spaces. Xiao Yao came to the side of the cabinet, looking at these bundles of red ginseng soup with shining eyes, then untied the ropes and put them into the backpack, one by one. If the number is large enough, up to 999, you can use the scientific research function to study them. After the research is completed, you can buy them in the mall. In this way, you can buy unlimited, as long as you have money. So, the first thing Xiao Yao did at this time was not to make soup, but to unpack the red ginseng first, and then store them all in the backpack. Next to the cabinet was Xiao Yao's busy figure. Xiao Yao, let me help you. At this time, Yizinaru came to Xiao Yao and saw him splitting the red ginseng, so she joined him. Well, that's fine. I'm still too slow alone. With the addition of Yizinaru, the splitting process was doubled. Later, my parents, who had sorted out the items in the box, also joined the splitting team. Not long after, all the red ginseng was put into the backpack. Looking at the number of red ginseng in the backpack, Xiao Yao didn't know whether to cry or laugh. Red ginseng. 888. There were only 111 pieces left from 999. Xiao Yao, who was unwilling to give up, searched the entire cabinet and even moved the cabinet away, but still couldn't get the last 111 pieces. What's wrong, Xiao Yao? Is it missing? Although it's not a small number, but there are still 111 pieces left. Xiao Yao, how many pieces do you need? We have so many people splitting for a long time, it seems that there must be thousands of pieces. Not enough, only 888 pieces, I need 999 pieces, then I can study it, and after the study, I can buy it with money. Is that so? Well, there's nothing I can do. Since there are so many red ginsengs here, they must have been dug from this mountain. It seems I have to go to the mountain to dig some to make up the 999 roots. Xiao Yao, what use is this red ginseng to you? Dad, this red ginseng can be used to make soup. Drinking the soup can replenish blood. It's more than useful, it's life-saving. It's so effective. In fact, we also have a few bags of red ginseng in our hometown, but there may not be more than 100 roots, at most only a few dozen. Too few, I need 111 roots, not one less. Then it seems I can only go out and dig some, but these red ginsengs are all wild, and it takes some effort to find them. Only those who watch the mountain on this mountain are so familiar with the mountain. It's a pity that the old lady has become a zombie. Now there is no way to ask her where the red ginseng was dug from. Xiao Yao, do you have any requirements for the red ginseng? No requirements, as long as it is red ginseng. Then you cut this red ginseng in half, then we will have double, right? Cut all 888 in half, then we will have 1,776 roots, which is completely enough for the 999 you mentioned. Oh my god, why didn't I think of that? Right, cutting it in half will double it, then it will be completely enough. Dad, Mom, it looks like I have to trouble you again. This job is a bit strenuous. What's so strenuous about it? It's just cutting vegetables. Yes, your dad was in charge of food when I was in the production group. Have you finished soon? It's time to start again. Xiao Yao felt cheerful when he saw his dad's frustrated look. After getting so many red ginsengs at one time and developing them, he would not have to worry about the red ginseng soup in the future, and he could fight the zombies head-on, even with drugs. He was a little excited just thinking about it. Hey, what are you thinking about? Take it out quickly, otherwise what are we cutting? Oh, I'll take it right away. Xiao Yao touched the back of his head awkwardly. He was just daydreaming. The red ginseng was still in the backpack. Xiao Yao calculated that he only needed to cut 500 roots to meet the requirement. The remaining 388 roots continued to be placed in the backpack. After taking out the red ginseng, the family divided into groups and began to cut the red ginseng. There is strength in numbers. Soon the red ginseng was cut in half, meeting Xiao Yao's requirements. After receiving the backpack, Xiao Yao directly started scientific research and began to study the red ginseng. The time displayed was 2 hours. It seemed that he had to wait for another 2 hours, but there was no rush. Being able to conduct scientific research meant that he could directly buy red ginseng with money in the future, and he could make unlimited red ginseng soup. Xiao Yao looked at the remaining 388 red ginsengs. Next, he had to make red ginseng soup. If feasible, he would directly make 999 bottles. After researching again, he could buy it directly from the mall in the future. Xiao Yao took out 100 red ginsengs and placed them in the dustpan. Mom, What is the appropriate ratio for making red ginseng soup? There's no specific ratio for this. Just boil it randomly. Usually, there are 10 ginsengs in a pot of soup. 10 ginsengs. Xiao Yao thought for a moment. Mom, next, there is another important thing to do. Just tell me what it is. We have nothing else to do anyway. We are happy to be able to help you from the bottom of our hearts. Mom, it's not a difficult task, but it's troublesome. I have 388 red ginsengs left here, and I want to boil them all into red ginseng soup. Boil them all into red ginseng soup. Yes, boil them all and get 999 bottles. This way, you don't have to boil it in the future. 999 bottles, this is not a small project. Even if you don't stop boiling it, you have to boil it for a day and a night. 1 day and 1 night. Xiao Yao knew it would take a long time, but he didn't expect it to be so long. Forget it, why not save trouble in the future? 1 day and 1 night is 1 day and 1 night. Xiao Yao took out a bottle of red ginseng soup. Mom and Dad, this red ginseng soup can replenish 50 health points after drinking it, while ordinary people like us only have 100 health points. After the first round of screening at the end of the world, those who can survive have basically upgraded by 1 level, and most of the survivors have reached 110 health points, but this bottle of red ginseng soup can add 50 health points. 2 bottles are equivalent to 1 more life. Originally, we didn't have the raw materials, but now we have enough red ginseng. This red ginseng soup must be boiled. With it, our chances of survival will become greater. 2 bottles mean 1 life. The function of this red ginseng is really powerful. Xiao Yao, we support you. It's just 1 day and 1 night. The 4 of us will take turns to boil it. We can make it even if we work overtime. Dad, it's not as simple as you think. Water and red ginseng are all available. What we lack now is firewood. Without firewood, how can we make a fire? However, I will solve the problem of firewood. I'll leave the soup to you, Mom and Dad. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and start working. It's not a small project to work for a day and a night. Dad patted Xiao Yao's arm. Well, then I'll go chop wood. By the way, Dad, let me use the fire axe. It's a bit of a waste to use a copper coin sword to chop wood. It's at the door. Take it yourself. Don't disturb us from making soup. You can't afford not to complete the task. Okay, then I won't disturb you. Xiao Yao saw that his parents had already started to wash the pot and make soup, and his father had already started to scoop water from the water tank. Wait, Dad, use mineral water. Xiao Yao realized at this time that the mineral water had not been taken out yet. So he hurriedly took out 50 bags of mineral water from his backpack and stacked them neatly by the wall. The whole thatched house suddenly became very narrow. Oh my God, son, although I know the magic of your glasses, I was still surprised to see you take out so much mineral water at once. Dad touched the bags of mineral water by the wall and couldn't let go. Do you really want to use mineral water to make soup? This is the water of life. Dad, don't be reluctant. Red ginseng soup is the water of life. I can have as much mineral water as I want now. It's not a rare thing. Okay, let's use mineral water to make soup. Let's be extravagant today. Watching the family start to make soup, Xiao Yao went out. Although making soup is troublesome, firewood is the most important thing. Without firewood, how can we make soup? Fortunately, this is a mountain, so there is no shortage of firewood. Xiao Yao put the copper coin sword into the backpack, holding the fire axe, and walked out of the yard. Before leaving, he dragged the zombie body out first. It was too disgusting to leave it in the yard. Xiao Yao dragged the zombie body all the way to the outside of the yard. After dragging for a while, he found a deep pit in the woods. Xiao Yao threw the zombie body directly into it. Unexpectedly, the pit was quite deep. It took several seconds for the body to fall in before hearing a bang. Xiao Yao clapped his hands, held the fire axe, and started chopping trees. Hey! Hey! Xiao Yao chopped the pine tree next to him one by one. Because of his high strength, he chopped down a pine tree in a few strokes. Cutting trees is too unchallenging now. Cutting trees, cutting trees. Suddenly I remembered a lumberjack, Bald Kang. I don't know if there will be Big Bear or a Little Bear on this mountain. Ha! Ha! Xiao Yao spat twice into his palms and continued with his task of cutting trees. Chapter 243 The Path to Divine Artifact Development. After cutting down a few pine trees, Xiao Yao dragged the pine trees back to the yard, then cut off the pine branches and leaves directly in the yard, and then cut the branches into sections and carry them back to the house. In fact, it would be best to make the soup by yourself, and it can also increase the proficiency of alchemy. However, only you can see the health value, and only you can easily complete the task of going out to chop wood. If the health value is low, come back quickly, and go out again when the health value is restored. At this time, my mother and others are in the house, so the life recovery equipment is not necessary. Xiao Yao also asked Xinru's pink down jacket to come over and wear it. When Xiao Yao changed into Xinru's pink down jacket, my mother looked at him with a strange expression the whole time. "Mom, don't look at me like that. This clothes can restore health, otherwise I wouldn't wear it. Your son is not a pervert." "Oh, then I'm relieved. I thought you have some special hobbies now." "How is that possible? I'm a real man." He put on all the blood recovering equipment, plus the bodybuilding technique that had already been upgraded to level 3, which increased the life recovery by 3 per minute. Character, Soul Survivor Helmet, plus 178 attack, plus 450 upper limit of health, plus 400 upper limit of mental power, plus 3 health recovery minute, plus 50 mental power recovery minute, plus 178 combat power, 1 in the hole, durability 6412 6666, Knight's Wrist, strength plus 6, defense plus 6, plus 2 health recovery minute, combat power plus 12, durability 60 out of 100, limited edition goose down jacket, health plus 100, plus 2 health recovery minute, durability 350/666, jade amulet, health recovery plus 2/minute, durability 987/999. At this time, after changing into a full set of blood recovering equipment, the life recovery reached 12 life recovery minute. This is all the equipment that can restore life value that I can equip at present. The maximum life value has also reached 880. With the current blood loss caused by fog poisoning, I can last for 28 minutes in the fog. This is the limit. It is best to return to the house to recover blood in about 25 minutes, because the blood loss rate in the later stage is too fast, and I might die before I run into the house. It will take more than an hour to recover blood. Xiao Yao simply upgraded the tattered equipment in the backpack, so that he can wear it for his parents. System, upgrading forging requires 5 types of the same equipment. Do you want to upgrade forging? Upgrade. Xiao Yao upgraded all the tattered suits, including the tattered headband, tattered canvas shoes, tattered t-shirts, and tattered wooden sticks. After the full set of equipment was upgraded, it became ordinary. Each piece of equipment consumed 1,000 yuan to upgrade and forge once, and a set of equipment cost 4,000 yuan. Xiao Yao directly forged 5 sets, and 20,000 yuan was gone. Xiao Yao glanced at his balance, and found that he still had 130,000 yuan left to forge once more. Upgrading and forging ordinary equipment also requires 5 pieces of the same equipment, and this time it costs 5,000 yuan to forge once. Fuck, this system is simply robbing money. Although there are a lot of broken equipment, I can't afford to forge them. There was no other way. The properties of ordinary equipment were still too poor, so Xiao Yao reluctantly upgraded and forged it again. After upgrading and forging ordinary equipment, it became exquisite equipment. In total, it costs 25,000 yuan to forge a set of exquisite equipment. Xiao Yao gritted his teeth and upgraded and forged 2 more sets of exquisite equipment, and 50,000 yuan was gone again. Seeing the speed at which money was spent like a dam bursting, Xiao Yao felt a pain in his heart. No, he had to arrange for his parents to go to the bank to borrow money. The days of being short of money every day were simply too hard to bear. 3 sets of exquisite equipment, just right for 1 set for each of his parents and Xinru. Exquisite headband, plus 62 attack, combat power plus 62, durability 625/625. Exquisite canvas shoes, health plus 56, durability 625/625. Exquisite t-shirt, health plus 87, durability 625/625. Exquisite wooden stick, plus 93 attack, combat power plus 93, durability 625/625. After putting on this set of equipment, Mom and Dad's health can directly exceed 200. Mom and Dad, stop for a moment. I made a set of equipment for you that can increase your health points. Come on, put it on. Hey, Xiao Yao can make clothes now. Mom, stop making fun of me. I upgraded it using the function of my glasses. This t-shirt is very delicate and looks very high-end. It's just that it's winter now. You want to freeze us to death by letting your dad wear this t-shirt. Mom, this t-shirt can be worn inside. It will be effective when worn inside. Oh, I thought you could only wear this one. Okay, put it aside for now and wear it after the soup is cooked. Mom, I'll take care of it here. You go put on the t-shirt and headband first. These two pieces will increase your health points by 153, which is equivalent to an extra life and a half. So many? That won't do. I have to change now. By the way, Xiao Yao, do you have any more of these clothes? I'll put on a few more. Mom, only one piece of this clothing is effective. Wearing more is useless. That's a pity. This clothing is so thin. If all of them are effective, I can put on 8 or 10 pieces. Would that be equivalent to 10 lives? Mom, if you say so, wouldn't I be invincible if I put on 100 pieces? Xiao Yao took over the fire hook, also known as the fire stick, from his father and continued to light the fire. Dad and Mom went to the next room to change clothes. This pot should be almost done. 1 pot in half an hour. Xinru, bring the big basin over. Ladle the boiled soup into the basin to cool it down. Bottle it after it cools down. Okay, Xinru obediently went to take the basin. Xiao Yao looked at Xinru, who was busy with work, with a satisfied look on his face. Xinru was the campus belle of Zheoyang University of Technology, but now she was making soup with a loser like him in this thatched cottage, not caring about the smoke and fire. At this time, Xinru's face was rubbed with soot from the bottom of the pot, and she looked like a little panda. Alice, Xiao Yao felt a little sorry for Xinru, a big campus belle, but now she was suffering with him. Xiao Yao clenched his fists. After all, Xinru was the campus belle. Xiao Yao used to be afraid that Xinru would put on airs of a campus belle, or look down on him, or Xinru doesn't listen to him, so Xiao Yao may not be very nice to Xinru. After getting along for a long time, Xiao Yao found that Xinru did not have the airs of a school belle at all. Xiao Yao even felt that Xinru was very pitiful, because with the title of school belle, she had to endure other people's cold words and smiling faces. Xinru didn't even know whether her mother was alive or dead. Maybe he took Xinru as a female companion for fun and for sex at the beginning, but now, Xiao Yao fell in love with this girl from the bottom of his heart. Xiao Yao swore in his heart, Xinru, no matter what, I will never let you suffer. Xinru had already opened the pot and was scooping out a boiled red ginseng soup. Xiao Yao used the fire hook to pull the firewood at the bottom of the pot to one side a few times. After scooping out the soup, he would replace it with new soup and add firewood. These half-burned firewood could also be used as kindling. Inadvertently, Xiao Yao glanced at the fire hook in his hand. System, fire hook, attack plus 100, combat power plus 100, damage to undead plus 100%, and 10% burn damage to undead, durability 100 out of 100. Oh my god? What kind of artifact is this? Xiao Yao rubbed his eyes. How come the properties of this fire hook are exactly the same as the copper coin sword? Xiao Yao took a closer look. This fire hook is a fire-making tool that ordinary rural people have. It doesn't look special, but how can it have such strong properties? 100 attack can kill ordinary humans in seconds, but I haven't heard of anyone using a fire hook to kill yin. But on second thought, no one would use a fire hook as a weapon to kill yin. Basically, they would use a kitchen knife or something. After all, using a fire hook is not killing yin, but making yin laugh to death. Xiao Yao looked at the fire hook in his hand with burning eyes. Almost every household in the countryside has a fire hook, and some families even have more than one. There is no shortage of this thing. It seems that he has to change his strategy and adopt the strategic approach of the older generation, surrounding the city with the countryside. First, he should collect enough fire hooks, and then upgrade and forge them. This will become the most powerful weapon in his hand. And the most important thing is that he has a lot of this thing. There are 900 million farmers in the country. Even if half of them move to the city, there are still 450 million left. If there are 4 people in a family, there are 100 million households, 100 million fire hooks. If they are all collected, this fire, if the hooks are upgraded to the end, wouldn't it be against the sky? According to the current upgrade attribute requirements, 100 million fire hooks can be upgraded 11 times, which means an attack power of 2.38 W. It's scary to think about it, but Xiao Yao quickly calmed down. This is too unreliable. Even if he can collect so many, he doesn't have that much money to upgrade. It takes 50 billion just to upgrade to level 11, unless he can make money himself. Forget it, even if he can make money, 50 billion will not be enough to make it all even if he dies. It's too far-fetched. First, collect the fire hooks in the village below and upgrade them 3 to 4 times, and these zombies will not be scary anymore. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 244, Untying the Heart Knot. The night deepened, and it was already 8 o'clock in the evening. After the whole family worked together for half a day, Xiao Yao already had 325 bottles of red ginseng soup in his backpack. Basically, 40 bottles can be boiled in an hour. At this rate, it will take 17 hours to boil 999 bottles. However, this is unrealistic. Sleep must be guaranteed, otherwise there will be no energy at all. It seems that only 2 days can be arranged. After boiling this pot, Xiao Yao paused the boiling of soup. He boiled a pot of chicken soup in a big pot, and the family gathered around the table to eat dinner. Xiao Yao, this speed is not good. I have been busy all afternoon, and there are only about 300 bottles. I didn't expect that boiling soup would be so hard. Xiao Yao, I have an idea. Dad swallowed a mouthful of chicken and said, Dad, what do you think? Why not use the same method as before? Red ginseng can be cut into 2 halves. This red ginseng soup is liquid and can also be divided into several bottles. Dad, do you mean to divide these red ginseng soups into 2.5 bottles? Yes, that's what I mean. This can greatly reduce the time of boiling. Xiao Yao fell into deep thought. Dad's suggestion is not a bad idea. This can save time. At most, the red ginseng soup developed by the time is half a bottle, which will not affect it. Okay, Dad, boil a few more pots and get 500 bottles. We will divide the red ginseng soup into 2.5 bottles. I'm too tired today. Let's rest early after dinner. Tomorrow morning, we will start boiling again. Xiao Yao came to the gate of the courtyard, propped up the gate with a tree stump, and looked around. Woo! Xiao Yao suddenly covered his stomach. Why does my stomach hurt suddenly? Xiao Yao quickly ran to the wall, took off his pants and started to poop. After a burst of discharge, his stomach felt much better. Xiao Yao pulled up his pants and went back to the house. At this time, my parents had already gone to the west room to rest. Xinru was also lying on the kang, with only her head exposed, staring at Xiao Yao from a distance. Why are you looking at me like that? Xiao Yao felt uncomfortable being looked at. Can't I just take a look? Okay, my wife, you can look if you want, but your eyes make me feel itchy all over. Do you have any conspiracy? No way, get on the kang quickly, the quilt is already warm. Oh my god, you are obviously angry. Xiao Yao quickly climbed onto the kang and got into the quilt. Husband. Well, what's wrong? I feel like this is just a dream. I never thought that my future husband would be you. Why, do you regret it? The word regret never exists in my Xinru's dictionary. Then why do you look so reluctant? I just didn't expect my future husband to be a fat man. Even if my Prince Charming is not strong or thin, I definitely didn't expect him to be a fat man weighing nearly 200 pounds. Xinru, let me tell you a secret. In fact, I was also a thin person before. Well, then why did you get fat? Speaking of which, I got so fat inexplicably. In fact, I was also very puzzled, but later I accepted this reality. It doesn't matter if I'm fat. Anyway, it doesn't affect my actions. What's more, I already have you now, and I don't care what other girls think of me. I am myself, a different firework. Husband, have you ever thought about losing weight? Losing weight? I thought about it at first, but later, I gave up. Why? Wife, try my arm. Well, it's very hard. Try my belly again. Wow, honey, you actually have abdominal muscles. Don't be so surprised, okay? Although I'm fat, I found that the flesh on my body is not fat. I don't know when it started, but these flesh slowly turned into muscles. I dare not lose weight. I'm afraid that if I lose weight, these muscles will also be lost. What I'm more afraid of is that if I lose weight, my strength will disappear. After all, Most of the strength is burst out by muscles. Oh, then honey, you'd better not lose weight. It's okay to be fat. Anyway, I don't care. Wife, actually I have a question I have always wanted to ask you, but I never asked you. What question? I once asked you if you had been to the Yay division. You said you had been, but because of something, you left temporarily. What were you going to do that day? Do you want to know? Yes. Beg me. Oh my God, I have such a bad temper. I'll punish you with my family rules. Many words were omitted. Husband, I already knew that the person was you. Here is what you want. Ye Xinru took something out of her pocket and handed it to Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao saw that it was a memory card. Xiao Yao took off his phone and put the memory card in. There was only one video in it, which was the video of him being scammed by the old lady. Xinru, were you there to testify for me that day? Yes, I did go to testify for you that day, but I didn't want to testify for you at first. It was my sister who forced me to go. Your sister? Yes, she's my stepmother's daughter, so she's my sister. In fact, she was going to get off the car to testify for you, but I was afraid of delaying her training, so I sent her to the training site first, and then took the memory card to the yamen to find the yamen. However, because of something urgent, I went back to school before I parked the car. I'm sorry, I didn't do anything. No, you have the motive to do it, that's enough. Xiao Yao hugged Xinru. Thank you for untying my knot. Knot? Yes, I've always been curious about who was helping me. I didn't have the chance last time, but this time I finally knew the truth. Thank you, Xinru, and thank you to your sister. By the way, what's your sister's name and where does she go to school? Yishan, at Zhaoang No. 1 Middle School. Where was your sister on the doomsday? She's a boarding student. If nothing unexpected happens, she should be in the school dormitory. It's the dormitory again. Whether it's the food shortage or the number of zombies, the situation is not optimistic. If you can go to rescue them, of course it would be great, but you have your own plans. Don't you have to rescue your sister? Going to my sister's house happens to require passing by Zhaoang No. 1 Middle School. Let's go and take a look then. Well, thank you Xiao Yao for thinking about me. I also thank you on behalf of my sister. Silly girl, your family is my family, and my family is your family. We are a family. Well, we are a family. The night was getting darker, and there was even a snoring sound from the next room. It must be Dad snoring again. Duado, who was lying at the door, had slept for a long time. He sniffed his nose in his sleep, and then got up and walked outside involuntarily. Bang! Duado bumped into the door and woke up directly. Who? Xiao Yao quickly got up and turned on the night vision. He found that Duado was scratching the door with his claws. Could it be that a zombie came in? This is a remote place. How could a zombie find this place so quickly? Xiao Yao put on his clothes, stood up quickly, pushed open the door, and Duado rushed out. Xiao Yao followed closely behind him and finally found Duado in the corner of the yard. Duado was facing away from him, eating something with a smacking sound. Xiao Yao slowly turned around and the scene in front of him made Xiao Yao's eyes widen. Duado got up in the middle of the night just to eat shit. Chapter 245 Duado likes to eat alligator. Sniff, sniff. What's that smell? It smells so good. Duado woke up from his sleep and was attracted by an unusually delicious aroma. He stood up like a sleepwalker and sniffed the direction of the aroma. Bang! Fuck, I'm going to die. Why is the door still closed? Duado stretched out his two front paws and banged at the door. Who? Xiao Yao's voice sounded next to him. Hey, it seems that the master has also been alarmed. Open the door for me. Xiao Yao put on his clothes and opened the door nervously. Finally the door is open. The damn master, don't think about snatching the delicious food from me. Delicious food, I'm here. Duado rushed out the moment the door was opened and ran straight to the direction where the delicious food was coming from. Oh my god, there are so many. Duado licked it. Wow, it's so delicious. No, the master is here, eat it quickly. Xiao Yao slowly moved to the side and looked at Duado in shock. No, it looks like the master wants to snatch it from me, hurry up and eat it. Duado turned around and faced Xiao Yao with his butt. Get lost. Xiao Yao kicked Duado with great force, knocking him against the door. A pile of dust fell from the top of the door. Fuck, the master actually attacked me just to snatch the delicious food from me. It's so inhumane. Xiao Yao looked at Duato, who was kicked away and came back again, licking his mouth with his tongue. Xiao Yao felt like vomiting. It was really a dog who couldn't change his habit of eating aioli jelly. Duato. This is aioli jelly, can you do it? Tell me if you are hungry, I will give you chicken. What the hell are you doing? Come and eat aioli jelly, am I not able to support you or what? Woof woof. This is much more delicious than chicken. Duato responded. Unfortunately, the man and the dog could not communicate normally, and they had no idea what each other was saying. Duato could understand a little bit of what Xiao Yao was saying, but Xiao Yao had no idea what Duato was saying in response. Xiao Yao directly found a shovel in the yard, picked up the half-eaten aioli jelly and threw it outside. Duato, wipe your mouth clean, or you'll stay out tonight. It's just wiping your mouth. Duato quickly ran to Xiao Yao and started wiping it on his pants. Duato. With a roar, Xiao Yao kicked him and Duato flew away. He landed outside the yard, right next to the aioli jelly that Xiao Yao had just thrown. Duato started to enjoy the delicious food again. Go outside to hell. Xiao Yao took off his pants and threw them into the yard, then went back to the house naked and closed the door. What's wrong, Xiao Yao? At this time, Dad woke up and came out wearing a coat. It's okay, Dad, you guys go to sleep. Duato is eating alligator. I'm teaching him a lesson. Eating alligator? Oh, dogs can't stop eating alligator. This is also its nature. Don't make it too difficult for Duato. Just throw the alligator away. I know dogs can't stop eating alligator, but it's disgusting to see it eating alligator. Okay, Dad, go back to sleep. Bala bala. There was a sound of the door clacking. Xiao Yao didn't want to open the door and let Duato die outside. But if Duato becomes a zombie dog after a long time, he may not be able to beat it. Xiao Yao admitted his fear and opened the door. It was Duato or someone else. It was still licking its mouth with an unsatisfied feeling. Don't rub against me, otherwise I will kill you at all costs. Do you believe it? Woo woo. Duato seemed to have done something wrong. He quietly walked around Xiao Yao and lay on the haystack next to him and began to take a nap. Why should I bother with a dog? Xiao Yao closed the door and climbed onto the king angrily. Husband, go to sleep quickly. There's no need to be so angry with a dog. Yes, I'm not angry, not angry. With ease and Ru's comfort, Xiao Yao soon stopped being angry and omitted a lot of words. December 12, 2114, the 11th day of the apocalypse. I was busy for a long time yesterday, and Duato made a fuss for a long time in the middle of the night. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and Xiao Yao hadn't gotten up from the kang. Dad, Mom and Xinru had already started to boil medicine. They didn't wake Xiao Yao up, so let him continue to sleep for a while. His father, there is no firewood, you go wake Xiao Yao up. No, I'll go chop some. You'd better wake Xiao Yao up. It's so dangerous outside, don't show off. Okay then, Xiao Yao's father went to wake Xiao Yao up. Huh? Dad, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. If you don't get up, it's time for dinner. 10 o'clock. Xiao Yao quickly got up and looked at the time. It was already 10:15. Dad, why didn't you wake me up earlier? It's because your mom asked you to sleep a little longer. If it were me, I would have woken you up earlier. Go chop wood. There is no firewood. Oh, okay, I'll go right away. Xiao Yao quickly put on his clothes, pushed open the door and went to chop wood. His dad, why don't you let Xiao Yao eat something before he goes to chop wood? He'll eat when he's hungry, why worry about it? A loving mother often spoils her child. Fortunately, Xiao Yao is sensible, otherwise he would have been spoiled by you. You are the same, with a sharp tongue but a soft heart. Xiao Ru, even though Xiao Yao likes to sleep in, he is also very hard-working. Mom took Xinru's hand and began to praise her son. Xiao Yao's dad covered his face and silently shouted in his heart, what do you mean by sleeping in and being hard-working? Aren't these two words contradictory? After a while, Xiao Yao came back with the chopped firewood. Continue to boil the soup, Mom, how much have you boiled? Xiao Yao saw that the wall was full of half-filled bottles of mineral water. When boiling soup, basically 2 bottles of mineral water can make a bottle of red ginseng soup, so it is just right to fill 2.5 bottles of red ginseng soup. 160 bottles have been directly divided into 2 bottles. Now there are 320 half bottles. 1 more pot will be almost done. Great. Xiao Yao waved his fist vigorously. For the last pot, Xiao Yao personally went to the battle and lit the fire. Half an hour later, the soup was ready. After cooling for a while, 80 bottles were filled. Xiao Yao put all these half bottles into the backpack, and took out the 325 bottles from yesterday and began to pack them. The whole family came together. In less than half an hour, all the packaging was completed. Xiao Yao looked at the 999 half bottles of red ginseng soup that met the requirements in the mobile phone space, and directly chose research and development. It showed that it would take 1 hour to complete the research and development. Xiao Yao no longer paid attention to it. The only thing he was a little curious about now was how much the system would price it after the research and development was completed. Dad, Mom, Xinru, I'm sorry for your hard work these 2 days. Thank you. Xiao Yao, what are you talking about? It's too formal for us to be so polite to each other as a family. Dad, weren't you in charge of meals when you were in the production group? Come on, show us your skills and make some chicken soup. What's so good about chicken soup? Look, your dad will fry you some spicy chicken. It will definitely make you want to eat it off. Great, Dad. Teach me. Look carefully. This is my unique secret recipe. Now I'm giving it to you and I hope you can inherit it. Dad, stop bragging. Let's do it. Xinru and I have been hungry all morning. Let's go. Xiao Yao's dad rolled up his sleeves and started making a so-called unique secret recipe of spicy chicken. Chapter 246 Xiao Family's Secret Recipe Spicy Chicken. It smells so good. Xinru was already drooling with greed. Xiao Yao was shocked at this time. System, successfully learned the Xiao Family's unique secret recipe of saliva-watering spicy chicken, delicious plus 100, hunger plus 1000, plus 10 life recovery second, critical strike rate 100%, duration, 30 seconds, this. Xiao Yao was a little stunned for a moment, and the look in his eyes when he looked at his father also changed. This spicy chicken is not only delicious, it is even more tonic than tonic soup. Delicious hunger is secondary. It restores 300 health points in 30 seconds. Isn't it a bit too much? There is also 30 seconds of critical strikes. A loving mother sews the clothes for her son, and a father cooks spicy chicken, and every cut of his knife is a critical hit. Dad, my admiration for you is like this spicy chicken. Just one look at it can make people drool. How is it? Your dad's cooking skills are real. No, absolutely not. When the spicy chicken came out of the pot, Xinru had long lost her reservedness as a school belle. She ate like a beggar who hadn't eaten for days. Mom didn't laugh at Dad at this time, but immersed herself in the deliciousness. How can such delicious food be without wine? Xiao Yao took out a bottle of Mayotte wine and filled it for his father. Dad, I toast to you. After eating and drinking, the family gathered around the table and began to enjoy this short quiet time. Son, are we leaving in the afternoon? Well, I hope my sister should be okay. If we go a little earlier, we may be able to rescue her earlier. If there is danger, don't force yourself. You must ensure your own safety. Dad, I know. Xiao Yao, you can go with peace of mind. Your dad and I will guard this yard and wait for you to pick up your sister. Don't worry, Mom, whether I pick up my sister or not, I will definitely come back to see you within half a month. Well, don't be stubborn and don't force yourself. Being alive is better than anything else. Remember, you must stay alive. Mom, I know. The mood before parting was unusually sad. Xiao Yao left some blood recovering equipment for his parents and gave the knight's wristband to his father. Dad, this wristband can restore 2 health points per minute. Here you go. The jade amulet was given to Mother. Mom, this jade amulet is for you. It can also restore 2 health points per minute. The health points of you and my dad are both 253 now. Don't stay in the thick fog outside for more than 15 minutes. It's best to come back in 10 minutes, understand? This time must be determined. It must not exceed 15 minutes. You must come back in 10 minutes. Okay, we got it. Also, Dad, the spicy chicken you made can restore 300 health points in 30 seconds, and it can also be used as a life-saving medicine. But this spicy chicken can't be preserved for a long time after all. I will leave you red ginseng soup later. Each bottle of red ginseng soup can restore 50 health points. You can combine 2 bottles into 1 bottle then. Okay, I get it. Don't be so sad. It's like a farewell between life and death. It's not like we won't see each other again. Mom wiped away her tears and didn't want to look at Xiao Yao. Dad, take this fire hook. This fire hook has 100 attack points, and it can cause 200 attack points to zombies. It is also a good weapon. As for the exquisite wooden stick I gave you, its attack point is 93. Now the health points of zombies are about 800, and they will increase by 22 health points every day. Of course, the health points of mutated zombies will be higher. This place is far away from rural areas and cities, and the chance of zombies appearing is relatively small, but we still have to be on guard. Well, that is to say, using this fire hook, you can kill a zombie in 4 hits, which doesn't seem to be very difficult. Dad, don't have this mentality. The main thing is to save your life. If you are caught by a zombie, you will be infected. You must not go out to practice with zombies. Your dad is not that desperate. Leave this Bagua mirror behind, Mom, you take it. Although this Bagua mirror has only 50 attack power, it has 100 defense points, which can at least save your life. Xiao Yao, Mom, you don't need it. You keep it. You have been in danger all the way, and you need it more than Mom. Mom, these are weapons. I can't equip so many at once. It's useless to keep them on me. I'd better leave them to you. Don't worry, Mom. My health points are almost 1,000 now. This 100 defense is of no use to me. Okay then, I'll give it to you to keep. Xiao Yao turned around and started to take out mineral water from the corner next to him. The room was too small, so he took out 121 bags of mineral water and piled it up. Xiao Yao, there's no need to put so much. You can keep some for yourself. I still have more than 200 packs here, and I can buy them directly. I don't need so much. If the space is not limited, I would take them all out. That's enough. 1 pack a day can last for more than 100 days. The water is enough, but I don't have much food. I have a lot of chicken here, and I'm worried about how long the chicken can be preserved. This is indeed a problem. Fortunately, it is winter now, and the chicken can be preserved for at least 7 or 8 days. Dad, 7 or 8 days is too short. I don't know what dangers I will encounter on the way to the city. A conservative estimate is at least half a month, so I must prepare food for half a month. Here are a few bags of flour and rice. Just eat these for the next week. That's the only way. I will come back as early as I can. Although chicken is not easy to preserve, Xiao Yao still took out 190 chickens and placed most of them on top of the mineral water. Dad, Mom, the preservation is left to you. If possible, dry them so that they can be preserved longer. System, research and development completed. At this time, the research and development of red ginseng soup was also completed. Xiao Yao couldn't wait to open the scientific research and confirmed the completion of the research and development. Then he switched to the mall and found the half bottle of red ginseng soup. Mall, red ginseng soup, half, restore 10 health per second, lasts for 2.5 seconds, price? 10 ha. Not bad, not bad. Xiao Yao patted his chest. This price was still acceptable. At least he could afford it. What's the matter, Xiao Yao? Xinru saw Xiao Yao actually breathed a sigh of relief. I have good news for you. The red ginseng soup has been developed and is only sold for 10 yuan. The only pity is that it is only half a bottle. Xiao Yao bought half a bottle of red ginseng soup and said, Dad, look. Is this what you bought from the mall you mentioned? Yes, and it is only sold for 10 yuan. I want to buy 2,000 bottles directly and then combine them into a complete bottle. You kid, you want to treat us as colleagues again, right? Hey, Dad, I am thinking about you. After all, this room is too small to hold so many half bottles. Besides, you will also have to combine half bottles into one bottle when the time comes. Don't be so glib, let's get started. After spending 20,000 yuan, he bought 2,000 bottles, which were filled up on the kang on the ground. It took some time again to combine half bottles into one bottle. He developed it again. At this time, it was shown that it would take 2 hours to complete the research and development. Well, it seems that he will have to stay for another 2 hours. Dad, the research and development will take 2 hours. I'll take this time to go outside and chop some more firewood, so you don't have to go out to chop when the time comes. Okay, go ahead. Your mom and I will clean up here. Woo woo. Xiao Yao went out, and Duaruo followed him out. Duaruo, be obedient and stay to look after the house. Xiao Yao, come back early. Xinru looked reluctant, which made Xiao Yao feel a little distressed. Now she has become very dependent on him, and she even felt a little reluctant to leave for a short time. I'll just trot around, not far away, close the door quickly, Xiao Yao said, but he felt happy in his heart. After all, it was still very happy to have someone thinking about him. Xiao Yao held the fire axe and went out of the yard. This time he was a little further away, leaving the nearby pine trees to his dad to chop. Xiao Yao crossed the pit from yesterday again and walked towards the pine tree farther away. At the bottom of the pit, the body of the zombie thrown down yesterday had already turned into a pile of dry bones. A cold wind blew from deep in the pit, making it chilly. Chapter 247 Collecting Fire Hooks. After going back and forth 4 or 5 times, Xiao Yao's firewood piled up a whole wall. Now that he could buy half a bottle of red ginseng soup, Xiao Yao didn't have to wait for his life to recover. He ran back to the house to drink red ginseng soup in 25 minutes, which could save as much time as possible and prepare more firewood for his parents. Scientific research. Red ginseng soup was successfully developed. Finally, it was developed successfully. Xiao Yao couldn't wait to open the scientific research, and after confirming it, he switched to the mall. Red ginseng soup, restore 10 life per second, lasting 5 seconds, price? 20 a bottle, not expensive. Xiao Yao glanced at his backpack. At this time, he still had more than 70,000 gold coins. Xiao Yao directly bought 200 bottles and piled them all at the foot of the wall. He still had more than 30,000 yuan, which could not be used anymore. This money had to be saved for skills. Besides, there was really no place to put it. The whole room was full of red ginseng soup, mineral water, and chicken. Dad, these are 200 bottles of red ginseng soup. I'll keep them. Each bottle can restore 50 health points. It should be enough for me to drink for a while. Don't go out unless you have to. I'll be back as soon as possible. Well, that's enough. Why don't you keep some for the road? No, I can buy it anytime I need it. It's only 20 a bottle, not expensive. Okay, are you leaving now? Well, it's getting late. If we don't leave, we'll have to spend the night here again. Well, be careful on the road. If things don't work, come back. I get it, Dad, Mom, don't open the door. I'll be back as soon as possible. Xiao Yao turned to Duato and said, Duato, the family depends on you. I know you are at a high level. Don't let me down, otherwise I'll eat dog meat when you come back. Woo woo. As if knowing that they were going to part, Duato lowered his head and whimpered softly, slowly approaching Xiao Yao, trying to rub the dog's head against Xiao Yao's pants. Get out of here, you've had enough, don't rub against my pants. Squeak. Xiao Yao pushed open the door and closed it without waiting for his parents to come out to see him off. Only after leaving Duato behind did Xiao Yao feel at ease to go to the city. Otherwise, Xiao Yao would definitely not feel at ease if he had only left his parents behind. Having a Duato above level 30 would be somewhat intimidating. His dad, do you think Xiao Yao can bring his sister back this time? I don't know. There are too many zombies in the city center. I'm afraid his sister may have. Don't say any more. It's better to let Xiao Yao go. Maybe his sister will be lucky. Well, I hope so. Xiao Fu Yao supported Li Yangxiao's arm. Xiao, we both went to work before, and we didn't have much time to chat together. How long has it been since we last had such a good talk? I don't know. It's been a long time. I'm even a little grateful for this doomsday. It allows us to stop rushing for life and enjoy the time with each other. Me too, but are you really not going to tell Xiao Yao that secret? I want to, but I'm afraid Xiao Yao will leave us in a fit of anger. If he can come back safely this time, we'll find a chance to tell him. Well, it's all up to you. You decide when the time comes. Boom. Xiao Yao drove the off-road vehicle along the winding mountain road all the way back to the north gate of the driving school. Honey, should we go back and kill the 2 cannibal survivors now? Yes, they should have mutated into zombies by now, so there is no psychological burden to kill them now. Boom boom. Xiao Yao drove the off-road vehicle directly into the driving school from the overturned bricks and drove straight to the examination building. Squeak. An emergency slam brake. Honey, wait for me in the car, I'll be back soon. Yes, be careful. Squeak. Xiao Yao opened the car door and walked up to the second floor in 2 steps. The door was broken. There were 3 zombies on the second floor at this time. Xiao Yao raised his sword and killed the 3 zombies directly. Strange, I clearly remember that there were 2 cannibal survivors. Why are there 3 zombies now? Xiao Yao glanced at the ground. At this time, the body of the survivor who was eaten on the ground was gone. Could it be that the one who was eaten has also become a zombie? No matter, after killing the zombies, there is nothing to worry about in the driving school. Xiao Yao went downstairs and got on the off-road vehicle. Honey, have you killed the zombies? Yet, we've killed them. I didn't expect that the survivors who were killed would also become zombies. There are 3 zombies upstairs. Ah. The dead can also become zombies. I don't know, it depends on the situation. This is the first time I know that the dead can also become zombies. Then where are we going now? Let's go directly from the south gate and head towards the city. Okay, honey, let's go. Boom boom. The SUV turned around and drove directly to the south gate. The south gate was locked. Xiao Yao got out of the car and opened the door. He got back in the car and drove the SUV directly to the cement road in the south. The south gate was open, and Xiao Yao was too lazy to close it. There were no zombies in this desolate mountain. Husband, where are we going now? To the bank. Husband, you once said that the attack power of the firehook is 100. Don't you want to go to the village to collect some? Look at my brain. Let's go back to the village first. It's just in time to clean up all the zombies in the village and save some trouble for my parents. Squeak. Xiao Yao braked suddenly and turned directly into the small road next to it. This was the road when he came here, and he could go directly back to the village. The SUV drove far away, and only the red taillights of the car could be vaguely seen in the thick fog. Woo woo. Several zombie dogs appeared at the gate of the south gate, looking at the direction where the off-road vehicle went away, and kept wandering at the gate of the south gate. They couldn't help wanting to step out of the south gate with their claws. After struggling for a long time, the zombies gave up, retreated back, and disappeared into the thick fog. Xiao Yao's driving skills had already been upgraded to level 3 at this time, and he was a skilled novice driver. Although he was still a novice driver, he had already added a skilled prefix in front of him. This narrow path was not difficult for Xiao Yao's driving skills. It was surprisingly quiet along the way, and he didn't even see a zombie. Xiao Yao drove all the way back home. I don't know where the key to the house has been lost for a long time. Xiao Yao directly used the unlocking skill to open the door of his house and ran back to the kitchen. Next to the stove was the firehook that had been used for a long time. Xiao Yao quickly picked it up. System, firehook, attack plus 100, combat power plus 100, damage to undead creatures plus 100%, and cause 10% burn damage to undead creatures, durability 100 out of 100. Sure enough, these firehooks all have such powerful properties. Great, Xiao Yao said excitedly, and gathered all the firehooks in the village first. After leaving the house, Xiao Yao locked the door and got on the off-road vehicle. Honey, how is it? Look. Just as I guessed, this firehook has exactly the same properties as the copper coin sword. It also has a 100% damage bonus to zombies, and 10% burning damage. Great. It seems that the trip to the bank will be postponed for the time being. Let's gather all the firehooks in the village first. I will upgrade the firehooks a few times, and then I will not be afraid of zombies at all. By then, no zombies can stop me in the world. Chapter 248, 3 Lights Policy. Let's go, wife. Each household will implement the 3 alls policy. Burn everything, kill everything, and rob everything. But, husband, is it necessary to burn everything? Okay, then let's implement the 2 alls policy. Kill all the zombies and rob all the supplies. Let's go. Start with the first house. Next to them was the first family's house. The front door was a glass sliding door. At this time, the glass sliding door had already been smashed by the zombies. What caught the eye were some broken and crooked tables, chairs, benches, sofas and TVs. It was a weird arrangement. The sofas and TVs were placed directly at the door. Xiao Yao looked up and saw a plaque hanging on the door. On the plaque was XX Farmhouse Courtyard. It seemed that this was a restaurant operating in the village. Farmhouse courts are very popular now. They all hang the plaque of farmhouse courts to cheat city people's money. An ordinary dish that sells for 20 in the city can be sold for 100 here. It is said that the raw materials are all pollution-free in the countryside. In fact, Just like the restaurants in the city, they just purchased their goods from the farmer's market. Xinru stayed in the car, and Xiao Yao went in alone through the broken glass door of the folding fan. Turning left at the screen wall, there were several single rooms on the left. He pushed the door open and entered. There was a round dining table placed inside, surrounded by some chairs, arranged very neatly. There was not even a person in sight. It seemed that they had not started to entertain guests yet. To the west was the toilet. A zombie with his pants down was wandering back and forth. Xiao Yao killed him directly. In the middle of the yard was a small flower bed with an unknown small tree planted in it. At this time, the branches of the small tree were almost touching the roof. The house in this yard the roof was covered with plastic like a greenhouse. In a few days, the tree trunk would break through the membrane of the roof. Xiao Yao walked around the small flower bed and saw some single rooms on the north. A foul smell came from the single room in the northwest corner. The door was open and a few zombies could be vaguely seen inside. They came out enthusiastically to greet Xiao Yao when they saw him coming to the door. Xiao Yao also took care of them. There was still unfinished food on the table, but it was no longer possible to tell what kind of food it was. The plates were covered with long blue-green hairs, which seemed to be very long. There was no one in the two rooms next to it, so Xiao Yao stepped out. There was a small bar at the door of a room on the east side of the yard outside. Xiao Yao directly collected the cash in the drawer. There was about 10,000 yuan. It seemed that this farmyard was quite profitable. After all, they were collecting money through QR codes now, and there was still so much cash. It seemed that the business was really good. There was a small path next to the bar. Xiao Yao walked east along the path. Next to the path were some shelves with moldy vegetables on them. Next to it was a freezer full of moldy meat. Xiao Yao came to open the freezer and opened it. "I'll go." Then Xiao Yao quickly closed the freezer. This fucking freezer with a power outage was even more smelly than the toilet. This was not the same smell as the toilet. The smell of the toilet was still acceptable. The smell in the freezer with a power outage was a bit dizzy. Roar. The roar of a zombie came from behind the curtain on the west side, and then the curtain moved, and a zombie's hand stretched out from behind the curtain. Then Xiao Yao saw the face of the zombie clearly. It was a female zombie. Xiao Yao once ordered a plate of rice with toppings, and it was this woman who received him. However, things have changed. The former neighbor has turned into a zombie. Maybe it was because the air conditioner was on in the yard. This female zombie was wearing super short jeans and torn stockings on her legs. The wounds on the torn stockings could be seen. The female zombie was only wearing a yellow V-neck t-shirt on her upper body. It was winter, and even with air conditioning, she would not dress like this. In order to entertain the migrant workers who came to eat, this female boss really tried her best. She is an obvious pervert. Xiao Yao sighed at the female zombie who used to be his neighbor. When the female zombie got closer, she suddenly reached out to grab Xiao Yao, and her speed was completely different from before. "Fuck you." Xiao Yao dodged and the female zombie missed his grab. Xiao Yao raised his sword and chopped off the female zombie's head. The head flew far away and flew into the inside through the gap in the curtain. Damn it, she originally wanted to leave her body intact because she was his former neighbor, but she actually wanted to sneak attack him. She was so shameless. Roar. A male zombie pounced from behind the curtain. This male zombie had a crooked white hat on his head and a black apron on his body. It was pitch black and covered with oil stains. It seemed that this should be the chef husband of the female zombie. At this time, the chef was holding a kitchen knife in his hand. "Good fellow, are you going to use weapons?" The chef was seen waving a kitchen knife and slashing at Xiao Yao randomly. It seemed that he remembered what he did in his previous life, but unfortunately he had no rules at all, not even as good as an ordinary person, and was slashing himself with Jackson steps. "I'll dodge." Xiao Yao dodged to the side, and the chef's kitchen knife chopped on the glass of the freezer. Crack! The glass of the freezer was shattered by the chef's kitchen knife, and the foul smell inside came out. Ugh! The stench that hit Xiao Yao's face made him feel like vomiting. Roar! The chef zombie was angry and actually broke his beloved freezer. "Brother, you smashed this freezer yourself, why are you looking at me like that?" The chef waved the kitchen knife again and chopped randomly. Seeing that the chef's attack was disorderly, Xiao Yao also breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the chef was just using the kitchen knife subconsciously and could not cause much harm to him. Puchy. Xiao Yao seized an opportunity and stabbed the chef's head with a sword. The noisy chef finally quieted down. The corpse collapsed and gave himself a kitchen knife. Backpack, bone chopping knife, plus 50 attack, combat power plus 50, durability 88 out of 100. Surprisingly, the attributes are not low. Although it is far inferior to the equipment I have on hand, it is at least a small top grade with relatively high attack attributes. After all, the attack attribute of an ordinary kitchen knife is only 2-3, which is already a super product. Xiao Yao stepped over the two corpses and lifted the curtain. Behind the curtain was a back kitchen. After all, it was not a formal restaurant, so it did not look very complete. There were two stoves, both of which were gas stoves. At this time, the head of the female zombie on the stove was still biting Xiao Yao. Fuck, you're not dead even though you're like this. Xiao Yao thrust his sword directly into it, and the female zombie's head stopped making a fuss. After giving her experience and money, she went back to reincarnation. Xiao Yao turned around and came out. There was nothing useful in the kitchen. It seemed that the situation was a little worse than he thought, because not every household burned firewood. Those who used gas stoves did not have fire hooks as a weapon. This was difficult to deal with. It seemed that he could only collect them from the old households. These young people's homes would not have fire hooks at all. In fact, Xiao Yao did not need to collect 100 million fire hooks. He could use the research and development function after collecting 999 of them, and then buy them from the mall. But now it seemed that these 999 fire hooks were difficult to collect. Among the 300 households in the village, excluding half of those using gas stoves, the best case scenario was to collect 150. It was a good idea, but it was very difficult to actually put it into practice. Chapter 249 Mysterious Organization, Jiang Shenbing. Without stopping for too long, Xiao Yao turned around and returned to the SUV outside. It took a long time to get out, and half of his health points were lost. Honey, how is it? Did you find the fire hook? No, this family uses a gas stove to cook, and there is no such thing as a fire hook. Ah, that's the case. What should we do? Can we only go to the older family's house to look for it? That's the only way. Young people nowadays are all office workers. How can they have time to chop wood and collect grass? Just use the gas stove to save trouble. Then do we still look for it one by one? No, let's go directly to the old family in the village. Yeah, okay. Boom boom. Xiao Yao drove the SUV into the alley next to him. As far as he could remember, the house at the west end of the alley was an old family. The house of this family was also much shorter than the houses next to it. Xiao Yao got out of the car by himself after parking in front of the gate of the house with a shorter house. There was a big lock hanging directly outside the gate. It seemed that the family was not at home at that time, so Xiao Yao directly used the lockpick to open the gate. What caught his eye was the screen wall with a landscape painting. Xiao Yao turned west and went in. Swoosh! A sound of breaking wind came quickly from the house, and Xiao Yao rolled to the side. Puff! But Xiao Yao looked and saw that there was a kitchen knife stuck on the wall. This was a red brick and cement wall, and there was a kitchen knife stuck in it. This kitchen knife was a long kitchen knife, similar to a fruit knife. At this time, the handle of the kitchen knife was still shaking and making a buzzing sound. This is fucking, although it won't be fatal with my health value. I almost got disfigured. Xiao Yao quickly looked inside and saw a figure at the window, squatting down quickly. Xiao Yao didn't see who it was. I'm human. I mean no harm. Xiao Yao said first. He didn't expect that there was a survivor in this family. If Xiao Yao remembered correctly, there should be 2 old people in this family, but with this force, can old people throw things? This should be a survivor without a doubt. He must have mistaken him for a zombie just now. Go away, you are not welcome here. Xiao Yao stood up. A woman's voice came from the house. Judging from the voice, she should not be very old. Did he remember it wrong? I mean no harm. I didn't know there was someone else at home. I just came to find some food. Since there's someone at home, I'll take my leave. No need to see you off. The voice of the person inside was very cold, so cold that people didn't want to get close. Xiao Yao slowly backed out of the yard and got on the off-road vehicle. Honey, what's wrong? Why do you look so bad? I was almost hit by a kitchen knife just now. Ah. What happened? There's someone in this house. I wasn't paying attention when I went in, and suddenly a kitchen knife flew out and almost stabbed me in the head. That's too much, honey. Did you kill her? Forget it. We are trespassing. I didn't know there were survivors in this house. Since there are people in this house, let's go to the next one. Okay. I just didn't expect that after 11 days, there should be very few survivors. I only found one survivor after searching 2 houses. It seems that there are still people who can survive. Alice, it's my fault that I have the title of public enemy, otherwise the other party would not be so difficult to talk to. Then honey, are we going to collect fire hooks? Yes, why not? It's just that there are survivors in this house. Although I don't know if there will be better ones in the future, this fire hook is the best weapon we can collect at present. Then let's go to the next house. Okay, let's go. Boom. The SUV started and drove west. Squeak. The door behind a door opened, revealing a girl with a ponytail. At this time, she was holding a spear tied with a mop and a kitchen knife in one hand, and a pot cover in the other hand. She stared at the direction of the SUV with burning eyes. After the SUV drove away, she went back to the house and closed the door. Everyone stand at attention. Turn around. Run and roll. I don't need your protection, hurry up and roll. Exclamation mark. At the SUV drove through a yard, and a mess of voices came from the yard. The voices were full of energy, and it sounded like a leader giving a speech. Honey, there are people here. It sounds like someone from the military aircraft department. Should we go and take a look? Boom. Xiao Yao stepped on the accelerator, and the SUV spewed out a puff of exhaust and drove away. What's wrong, husband? Why did you suddenly step on the accelerator? The SUV drove a long way before Xiao Yao slowed down. There lives a zombie in this family. Zhang Xinbing. Well, what surprised me is that he is still alive. His yard is open to the sky. From the sound, the zombie is standing in the yard and shouting. But why didn't he turn into a zombie? Yes, how can he survive in the yard and not turn into a zombie yet? The situation is getting more and more complicated. Could it be that this thick fog is selective? Husband, do you mean that some people are naturally immune to the toxicity of the thick fog? I have a guess now, but I need to verify this guess. Squeak. Xiao Yao quickly stopped the car, turned 180 degrees, and drove directly to the central street of the village. Husband, aren't you going to find the fire hook? I have more important things to do now. Xiao Yao stepped on the accelerator and drove to the brigade yard at the west end of the village. Bang! Bang! There were still a few zombies wandering on the street. They were knocked away by Xiao Yao. The SUV drove away. Then the zombies that were knocked away slowly got up and roared in the direction of the SUV, as if protesting that they ran away without paying. Squeak. With an urgent brake, Xiao Yao stopped the SUV and said to Xingru, "Wait for me in the car." Xiao Yao quickly jumped out of the car, ran into the brigade yard at the west end, and then ran to the south. There was a row of bungalows to the south of the brigade yard. At this time, the window of one bungalow was broken. Xiao Yao ran straight to the bungalow with a broken window. Squeak. Xiao Yao pushed the door open and entered. There were simple bedding and some daily necessities inside, which were placed in a mess in the whole room. No one. Xiao Yao clenched his fists. He came here to verify a question, whether all the soldiers were immune to the toxicity of the thick fog. This is where another in the village lives. This row of bungalows is the property of the village brigade, but because it has been idle, the female moved in. Because she is no one wants to make trouble for nothing. Over time, this has become the base of the female. The female is not on the house, which directly breaks Xiao Yao's guess. If she is not here, how can he verify it? In the vast fog, finding a female is like getting a stiff neck in the sea. What's more, what if she has died long ago? Alice. Xiao Yao sighed. The clues were broken, so he went to collect the fire hooks first. Hey, why are you here? Are you here to bring me food? Suddenly a woman's voice came from behind, and Xiao Yao turned his head stiffly. Hey, give me something to eat. I haven't eaten for several days. Xiao Yao looked at the female idiot in front of him in shock. Zhang Qihu's race, human level. 2 combat power. 12 life. 110/110 inches. What's going on? Xiao Yao looked at Zhang Qihu in front of him in shock. This is the female Jiang Shenbing in the village. The window is broken. Why is Zhang Qihu in front of him not losing blood at all? More importantly, even if she doesn't lose blood, is it possible that she is a Jiang Shenbing running around, and there are no zombies attacking her? No zombie dogs either? Looking at the lively Zhang Kehui in front of him, Xiao Yao finally confirmed a guess. Jiang Shenping is immune to this thick fog. Is this what is called God closing a window for you and opening a door? Jiang Shenping, they are not afraid of the doomsday virus fog, but they can absorb the energy of the fog like zombies to upgrade. Xiao Yao shouted silently in his heart, what kind of mysterious organization is this? Chapter 250. A mysterious race immune to the doomsday virus. Give me 100 or 80, I'm going to buy a pair of shoes. Why don't you give me some money? 10 or 8 is fine, I haven't eaten enough for several days. Next to him was the female soldier who was asking for money and food. Xiao Yao came to his senses and handed the female soldier a bag of mineral water. I don't have anything to eat, only water, take it or not. He wanted so many things, and didn't even prompt a random task. Well, okay, water is water. The water outside in Hui is really hard to drink, but the fish in it are quite delicious, you can catch some too. The female soldier twisted open a bottle of mineral water and drank it up. This water is sweet, much better than Hui's water. Xiao Yao turned and left the bungalow. Well, if you don't give me 100 or 80, I'm going to buy a pair of shoes. Here. This is 1,000, buy whatever you want. Xiao Yao took out 1,000 and handed it to Kehui. Really? You are the only one in the village who is generous. Those people are always asking for favors. But you only give me $1 for one time. What can you do with $1? Xiao Yao ignored Kehui and went straight back to the off-road vehicle. This female soldier is a beggar and never cooks, so she doesn't have a fire hook at all. Husband. Wife, tell me, why did these soldiers get a virus? Husband, your question is too difficult. If I knew why, wouldn't I win the Nobel Prize? Alice. But now my guess has been confirmed. These soldiers are not afraid of the fog virus and can come and go freely. More importantly, they will not be attacked by zombies. Level 2 humans can survive for 11 days. This is completely beyond my expectations. God is fair. No, we are in China. There is no God. God can't control what happens here. Although I don't know why these soldiers are immune to the fog virus, I now have a new guess. Husband, what else do you think? These soldiers have one thing in common. What's the thing? They all have problems. Husband, what are you talking about? If there is nothing wrong with them, can they still be called soldiers? That's the problem. They all have problems. In other words, their souls are damaged and they can't live like normal humans. They only retain the instincts to survive. Hubby, I still don't understand, why can they be immune to the fog virus? This is what I guess. There is something wrong with their God, so they are immune to the fog virus. In other words, breathing and blood are all ways for the virus to enter the body. The ultimate destination of the virus is to destroy the human God system and achieve the purpose of controlling humans. These God soldiers have problems with their own God systems and do not need to be destroyed at all. In other words, when the virus enters their bodies, there is nothing to destroy, and there is no way to talk about turning into zombies. Don't you think that zombies are the same as God soldiers, and they only have the instincts to survive? It seems to make some sense. My current guess is that the virus destroys human intelligence. God soldiers no longer have intelligence, so they can't be destroyed at all. This leads to these God soldiers being fearless of the doomsday virus. But we can't beat ourselves into fools and turn into God soldiers. Although it can't change anything, at least it lets us know the shortcomings of the doomsday virus, and they are ineffective against God soldiers. Forget it, if I have to become a God soldier to be immune to the doomsday virus, I still choose to be a normal human being. Me too. If I don't want to be infected and turned into a God soldier, I would rather be a human on the run. Haha, stop imagining it. Let's go collect firehooks first. It's just that the doomsday is getting more and more exciting. Maybe one day, we will find a way to be immune to the doomsday virus without turning into God soldiers. Then it's up to you, husband. I'll be responsible for eating and drinking well and cheering you on. That's a must. It's better to let me, your man, do the fighting and killing. I'll be responsible for making money to support the family, and you'll be responsible for being beautiful. You are beautiful as a flower. Boom boom. The off-road vehicle drove away from the village brigade compound and headed north. The old households in the village are basically in the area north of the village. Let's start collecting from there. The off-road vehicle stopped outside a very dilapidated thatched house. Xiao Yao got out of the car. The wall of the yard was very low. Standing outside the wall, you didn't need to lift your feet to see inside. However, there was also thick fog in the yard, and you couldn't see the situation inside at all. The door was made of branches, and there was a lock on the door. Xiao Yao took off the lock and lifted the door to the side. There were some withered weeds in the yard. This family was too lazy. It was winter, and they didn't even know to clean it. The yard of this family with 5 rooms was forcibly divided into 2 halves. There was also a wall in the middle of the yard, a small low wall half a person's height. Is anyone there? This time, Xiao Yao called out softly, and no one responded inside. It seemed that no one was there. There was a bungalow to the east, and there was a black door curtain at the door. In order to prevent zombies from attacking, Xiao Yao used a copper coin sword to pick up the curtain. The house was dark. Xiao Yao had no choice but to turn on the night vision. There were some furniture placed in a mess in the house. The whole 10 square meter small room was filled with things. Xiao Yao didn't even have a place to stay. There was no one in the house. Maybe he was outside at the time. Looking at the dilapidated scene in front of him, Xiao Yao didn't collect anything else. He just took the fire hook next to the stove and put down a bag of mineral water, 5 chickens and 1,000 yuan. Xiao Yao couldn't bear to steal things from his family, who was already so poor. These were considered rewards. Xiao Yao took the fire hook and left the small bungalow. There were 3 tiled houses on the north side, and the doors were directly broken. Xiao Yao walked through the door and looked up. There was no roof. It seemed that the roof had collapsed long ago, because withered weeds could be seen in the house, and broken tiles were all over the floor. Xiao Yao directly left the dilapidated room. The already poor life was made worse. I don't know where this family went. I hope they can survive. The wall in the middle of the yard was only half a person's height. Xiao Yao stepped on a stone brick on this side and jumped over it. There were many small trees as thick as arms planted in the yard on this side, growing in a staggered manner. Nowadays, few people plant trees at home. It seems that the family he came to is still a relatively old family. There is no bungalow on this side of the yard. There are 2 tiled houses to the north. Xiao Yao looked up. Although the roof did not collapse, there was an area on the roof covered with a piece of tarpaulin. It seems that the roof is also leaking. This tarpaulin is used for waterproofing. The door was not locked, and Xiao Yao pushed the door open directly. The moment he opened the door, Xiao Yao turned on the night vision function. Hello, old man. There was a person sitting on the king on the east side, but the detection glasses did not give any information. Xiao Yao still greeted politely. The other party did not respond. Old man. Xiao Yao held the copper coin sword and slowly approached the old man sitting on the king. When he got closer, Xiao Yao put down the copper coin sword in his hand. He saw that the old man sitting on the king in front of him had passed away. His dry face was sunken, and his silver-gray hair was messy and stood on his head. His hands were placed on his legs, like an old monk in meditation. Old man, sorry to bother you. Xiao Yao put his hands together and bowed to the old man. There was an empty bowl next to the old man. The bowl was already clean as new. It seemed that the old man starved to death. Starving to death was such a painful process. However, seeing the old man's sunken face like a skull, Xiao Yao was silent. The other party was afraid that he would not only start to starve after the doomsday, but also that he had no food to eat in peacetime. His intestines had been hungry for a long time. Death was sometimes a relief for them. Xiao Yao took the fire hook and went out without leaving food, water and money, because there was no need. Xiao Yao bowed heavily, turned around and left the yard, and walked heavily step by step. Hubby, why do you look so bad? Xinru, tell me, did I do something wrong? Hubby, why do you suddenly say that? I have all these abilities, but I didn't save the people from the dire straits. I've been confined to a tiny place and lived a miserable life every day. Am I not doing my best to use my abilities? Hubby, don't think too much. The world is so big and there are so many people who need to be saved. How can we save them all? But we were also waiting for rescue at the beginning. There must be many survivors who are still waiting for rescue like us. Some people still have food and can survive, but more people may have run out of food and ammunition and starved to death. When I think about them starving to death and dying in the bitter weight of hunger and cold, my heart suddenly feels so uncomfortable. Hubby, don't think like that. We are not responsible for their life or death. After all, we can't even save ourselves now, how can we save others? Boom boom. Xiao Yao started the SUV and continued to collect fire hooks from the next family. Strength is the most important. First collect fire hooks, then go to the bank, speed up, try to find his sister as soon as possible, arrange for his family, and then he can go to save people. Although the starving old man touched his heart, his family is still the first priority. He is not great enough to save others without caring about the life and death of his family. Xiao Yao's mind emerged from his childhood when he was playing with his elder sister. He pushed the door in the house and his elder sister pushed the door outside. As a result, the glass on the door was broken. He and his elder sister were beaten by their parents. Xiao Yao still remembers that beating clearly, but since his elder sister got married, there has been no chance to play, and even the chance to meet has become rare. Sister, are you okay? End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.